decent connection, so it doesn't act up or anything like that.
Well, also because Bandai has some weird servers.
Hey, Bandai.
Unfortunately, I gotta get Captain Tsubasa that soccer game. That soccer game looks pretty awesome.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm like, what?
That looks so good, dude.
So good.
Oh, you got it?
Like, is it an actual soccer game, or is
Yes.
it like masquerading as something else?
What are we talking about?
So it's better
Alright,
than
stream is
FIFA, is
live.
what you're telling me.
Wild.
Awesome. Yo, Clank, I didn't know you had it.
Not yet. My friends said they were gonna buy it for me. I was like, huh?
Oh, awesome. Soccer time. We're playing anime FIFA.
How long has that series been running?
I don't know.
No
I
idea.
told Kevin about it. Kevin's like, yo, I'm getting it. Because I showed him the trailer while he was streaming. I was like, yo, Kev, get this game. Soccer. It's great. And he's like, alright. Heck yeah, man.
I mean, Captain Tsubasa, but if you have not watched the anime, watch it.
Clank, a man of taste, bro.
Alright,
Alright, we're live, boys.
we are live. Episode 26.
Hi.
Hello, everybody.
What's up,
Wait,
everybody?
26 already? Man,
Yeah,
I
we're on
feel old.
episode 26. That being said, in case you didn't know, we're on Gundam. For now,
Yes.
we're on
Gundam.
Gundam. We're opening up with some Gundam. In the lobby, we got Frag, Clank, and Blaze. Yes, Blaze.
Don't worry, you have a regular there.
Why am I? What is with this special treatment? What happened here?
Because Blaze, you're a special person in our hearts.
And you get put on a shirt.
Oh, thank you.
That's
That's
I told
that's
you.
You're
really
the person we all unite.
positive meaning.
We all unite together to rag on you.
We told
I
you,
was
you
just
gotta
Put
get
up
put
with
on
it
your
for some reason. I really
I
don't
just
know
assume
why.
that's a compliment. Like, there's no way that could be any bad meaning in there.
Nah, man, it just means
Exactly.
you're funny to mess with. You fight back. So it's
Don't
okay.
you go sing the camera song for I Care. You got it? Go sing the camera song.
Sing the camera song. You're
I don't know
Turtle
camera.
meat.
also,
I know you. Yeah, you should have.
also,
it.
you
Just-
may
just
hear
such a-
them. So I'm gonna tell you who else is here with us. We got Dunn, aka
Yo.
Jukebox. We got Silver, aka
Yo,
the Silver Makai Knight, because someone watches Garo. And we got the
Ooh.
man, the myth, the legend himself, Kazan, in the building. Let's go.
Ever the silent type.
Let's go. Alright, so y'all ready? Y'all ready to rock? Some Gundam?
Well, alright,
Yeah.
yeah, we are ready to rock. Alright,
Hell yeah.
it's news time.
Let's
We got
open
a
up
lot
with
of
some
news.
news.
Where are we gonna
Everyone
start?
sit. Everyone strap their belt in the
we gotta
pilot
start
seat.
off on a sad note, my boy. We gotta
Alright.
let them. We gotta get them easy.
Man,
We gotta
I
let
don't
'em
want
easy.
to talk about this.
What?
It hurt me. It hurt
It
me.
hurts,
It
dude.
hurts so much.
It does.
Oh,
it
you mean
hurts.
that news?
Yeah,
Really?
it
I mean,
hurts.
now? Ah, shit. I
It's
just.
part of the news, bro.
I did it. Honestly,
Superhero news, my dude.
I'm the last person when it comes to know the movie and
It's
shit, but
okay.
even I feel sad the actor. Like,
It's okay.
so
what you
We have
what you
we have to
gotta
pay
know
respects.
is Gotta pay our
nah,
respects.
you're right. Go ahead.
To a great actor. Chadwick Boseman has unfortunately passed away
Yep.
via complications of colon cancer. Nobody knew he had it, and the crazy part was, despite all of it, Mads was still putting in work on the acting tip, bro.
yeah,
Like,
never props to him, man.
6 movies, man. I think 6 movies.
Yep.
He gave us lots of content, like
Facts.
like even
Prayers
outside
and
of Marvel,
condolences to
like
his
Get On
family.
Up, 21,
Yes, so many.
Message from the King. He did so much stuff. You know, like the man was really good. You know, and then
Freaking
he
James
up-
Brown, Thurgood Marshall, Jackie Robinson,
I just
Black
mentioned
Panther.
those.
Goodness, man. He did a lot.
He did
was
good.
great.
He did good. But on top of that, he uplifted lots of people with some of the roles that he has taken. Even with Black Panther, like I know there's a lot of hype with it, but he did inspire a lot of people
did.
and kids with those movies. So he did good, man. He did good.
Despite how like I talk shit about the hype that like it brought in,
Right.
Because you know
Right.
I'll be trying to just chill, watch the movie. You feel me? I understand.
Yeah. But overall,
You know?
some good came out of it.
It was
though.
good,
Good
in there.
came out of it.
And I understand it. Because for a lot of kids, it's their first time seeing
Yeah.
a black superhero.
Man.
So I get it.
Speaking,
You
what's
know.
gonna happen to the part 2 now?
Hey,
Isn't
yo.
on it?
Well,
Wait, my mic
let's-
or
let-
your mic? 'Cause
I was gonna say, let's
Oh.
hope with part 2. Let's hope that he was like either
I'm
there
honestly
was
not
like
worried
nearly
about part
done.
2.
or something. Like I don't know. If you get if people
I don't know.
that's waiting on it, we'll just have to see. Because who knows? It could have been like what the whole what happened with Paul Walker when he did Fast and Furious 7.
I don't think
he
they're
did
done,
most of it. When he did most of it, and then they just went ahead and boom. So ain't no telling if they will continue with the whole Black Panther project for the second one. I don't know.
That would be best case scenario, but I don't think they're done with
Blaze
it.
said he got a new controller.
If
They
not,
might
then
have to either they rewrite T'Challa out of it, or they just wind up
There's
recasting.
ways to do it, but for right now,
though, it's really just we
just
should-
pay it
we
just
gotta
pay
respect the
their
man.
respects.
You gotta respect the man. Thoughts and condolences to his family.
Exactly.
All right.
He
rest in
will
peace.
be missed. He will be missed.
He will be missed. All right. All right. Any other sad news you want to get out of the way, Echo?
Damn it,
No,
2020.
Okay.
that's one of the big ones. Fuck 2020.
Okay.
It's the second 2016. I keep saying that over and over.
Let's try to get some happier news going now. Done.
Yeah, go for it.
All right. Before we get to the scans, let's talk about some other stuff that came out. They're doing an O's anniversary thing. They're putting O's on the YouTube channel.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, I'm
Like
sorry,
the
I'm
whole
sorry.
show?
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. They're
Wow. Sick.
Like it's cool.
Hey,
rewatch
Neon,
those.
thanks for the 100 bits, my boy. What's going on? How you
O's
doing?
is pretty good. So
Yeah.
from what I've
Yeah.
heard, I need to
I
watch
have-
it fully, but from what I've seen, it's been pretty good.
I have
I
no real
plan to watch
complaints
it.
other than it's kind of some of it feels sort of like a Cougar rehash, but it does well
Right.
enough. So I'm willing to cut it a lot of slack. I mean, better a Cougar rehash than I don't know something bad. So
Fair enough.
Yeah.
and I'm having a hard time thinking of anything that would be like why rehash Fies because you don't need to. Although I guess Kiva kind of.
Ouch.
All right. We got that. Obviously.
Since I never have a season right, I have to go, man, this is bad.
One other thing.
And Indiana, I always warm up to it.
Oh, there was anyway.
Never watch it again, maybe, but, I'm not gonna say I hate it.
Bastard! Bastard Blaze!
Alright, one other commentary thing. This is more for me, but
Yeah.
freaking
What did I do?
Figure-Rise Ryuki! Figure-Rise Ryuki! Oh man, I'm getting that so much.
I've never
You like this one? I just picking random shit.
I never thought I'd hear that.
Figure-Rise
I love the
Ryuki?
Noble Gun.
Oh,
You want them
shit.
to do it, or are they about to do
Damn
it?
you and your low
They're gonna,
skirt.
it probably won't come out till next year. They just showed
That
up.
look at my skirt, you perfect.
It comes with the dragon, so.
Okay.
Dragon
No,
Bottom.
you got me sold. You kind of got me sold
Oh,
on that.
6 months with Kazong. 6 months with
Because Riki
What's
still
up,
holds
my
the
boy?
my heart.
Welcome back.
And I've been getting all
To the
the
writers
Figure-Rise
of the
kits
grid.
they've been releasing.
You saved your seat
Well,
to see him.
I just want Bandai to do a 20th anniversary of the V-Bucket. Just give me a
soon he will have this game.
anniversary version of that, and I will be happy. I will be happy if they do that. A 20th anniversary or version like how they did the other drivers, like the Watch drivers.
Why is it
that
so
I have
hard
right
to
now.
pick this guy?
If they do a 20th anniversary of the early Heisei stuff, I'll be happy.
Here,
'Cause that
take
means,
this.
That means they can do the Yuki puppets. They do that.
That would be pretty
I'll
cool.
be so. I'll be happy. You might see me in the mirror going henshin every time, but hey, whatever. Don't judge me.
Alright,
Oh, that was a
so
mistake.
that is that.
Yes,
Next, before hitting the scans, they're doing the handoff event, obviously. That's not really too much news, but
Yeah, that's cool to see at times, you know.
so neat.
No,
Theme with the handoffs. And then for Ultra News, before we get to the scans, we got Mill Creek's Ultraman 8 series. I believe that's coming out. I know they released a tweet about this.
I thought Ultraman they'd already released Ultraman Ace, but
Yeah, I was gonna ask, wasn't that already a thing?
I don't. I
They
mean,
made a tweet about it earlier this week, apparently. So
yeah. Oh, unless they're putting it on like their streaming service.
I don't know.
Oh,
Because I could have sworn, unless it was only DVDs released and they're doing Blu-rays now. I thought they were all Blu-rays coming out though from Mill Creek. So I don't know.
I missed out
I
on
know.
the GameStop stuff, so I don't know if they did.
Oh, shit!
But I will say
Damn it,
one
Frank.
bit of news for like one bit of gaming news if anyone still likes Monster Hunter. We're getting the original Black Dragon Fatalis, the last one that dropped. Capcom. Last bit of free DLC, so be prepared for that. It's Fatalis. Man.
Cool. One bit of Power Rangers news, actually. They're doing a Power Ranger online event next weekend.
Nice.
Have you guys heard about that?
Yeah, I
Is he
think
on of it?
Cam
Or
is
Battle
gonna
for
be
the Grid?
there. No. It's like a con. Kind
the
of like
viewing
DC
one.
fandom.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, that's this cool.
Yeah, so big Power Ranger event next week for all you Power Ranger fans out there.
Yes, sir.
Do we?
I'm
I'm a
All right.
Good luck, friendo.
Ah, shoot.
With that, I believe it is now time to cover the scans.
Oh, we got okay.
We got new scans.
gameplay.
Oh
I
yes,
was gonna mention-
we finally got gameplay.
We got
from it.
gameplay for Memory of Heroes. For I posted it. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, that's
if
it.
you guys already saw it. I posted
Yeah,
the
I did
double.
see it.
Yeah, we saw it. I saw your post.
Okay, cool.
I will link
love
it in
it.
the I will link it for people who want to check it out when
I
the
just think
podcast goes up.
I'm more excited for it. So seeing these gameplays, it makes me a little bit hyped for it. It's still
Yeah.
on a few things.
I'm,
But it's still,
also pretty hyped for it because I want to
But
play
it-
01. So.
yeah, dude. So there one because like I saw double gameplay that same day, and then all of a sudden 01 gameplay, and I said, hold the phone, like I watched this.
You saw
So
is it
I
almost
was
finished?
Also,
We're
It's coming
getting
out in
there.
October.
it's
it
pretty
really
much
comes out on my-
So
it literally
basically,
comes out on my
yes, it's
birthday.
finished.
It
So-
comes out on my birthday.
Also,
Nice. Good for you, man.
also,
Yeah,
they
I
revealed
pre-ordered it, so
all final
We'll see
forms
what
will be
happens.
playable. So there you go.
yeah. My only thing about because I
Well-
was so curious on the amount of forms they were going to put for 01 because we saw because Double seems to have a pretty big roster for his forms too.
Oh
which
yeah,
is
they're
also
doing
right.
every individual form swap.
Yeah.
Which is dope.
So my thing with 01 is that I was kind of expecting them to add a few other forms, like even the minor stuff like Flaming Tiger and all that stuff. Because he added Falcon, but they didn't add Flaming Tiger, Riding Shark. I was thinking that they were going to add those too, but no complaints because he added everything else. The only thing they didn't add was Shining Hopper, so that was a tad bit of a disappointment.
We'll get in my feelings
You
on
mean
this
just
one.
Base Shining Hopper, right?
They only added all the other stuff. They added Bays, of course, Shining Soul Hopper,
Yeah, Shining
Metal Cluster 02, which looked amazing. I love what the 02 form, and some of the stuff that he did in the game was not even in the show. That made it even look even more fun. So I was really happy to hear that.
That's always good.
Yes,
Unfortunately, 02
I'm
didn't
super
get a
hyped,
full
man.
live.
I'm super hyped. So,
Yeah.
so all we
Like
can
try
do
to
is
push
wait
this
for,
blaze.
is wait for OG games.
Sorry.
Nice job.
Dang it, Blade.
I hope
But
to
no,
see how
I'm
OG
ready to have that.
Yo, it's okay, Blaze. I got bodied early, so
Yeah.
fine.
Sorry.
I'm sorry, Dan. What was you
That
saying?
was on me.
No, I'm just excited as you. I want to play it.
Okay, yep.
I think it's going to be pretty cool. I mean,
I'll have fun with it.
it looks like at least the ideas in terms of gameplay that they're cribbing from good sources.
It looks, yeah. Okay, very good.
Very nice.
So it is. I think it's gonna be fun.
The most thing people hype about that game is 02 and 01.
True.
Yeah, because he hasn't gotten in the game yet. So
Yeah.
It's
It
hype, but go ahead.
Oh, no. I was saying, anybody have any problem with the gameplay, though? Like, anything they
Nah.
feel a bit...
If
To me,
no
the
problem.
animations look a tad stiff, but
Yeah, that's true, but I think otherwise...
I mean, that's
I
probably
need
a
to
few
actually
things
get in
that
my
can
hand
work
before
out.
he does gameplay.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Because they might be showing like Switch footage or something.
Yeah.
from what
So
I've
that's like,
seen,
if they stay...
it's like it reminds me of something like Astral Chain, like Astral Chain Light, because of all.
Oh
that's
yeah,
going
big
on.
time.
So, but like other than that, I loved Astral Chain. So
It was funny. Me and my friends have always been talking about how much we loved Astral Chain and how we wanted to get another game like it. And we look at this game, we're like, it's kind of similar to it. And you want to know what? I'm not upset about it. I like it. Cool. I'm
As long as you
enjoying
can
it.
like replay missions and segments. Like,
yeah,
at
please
will.
let us
That
do that. Please let
that
us.
would be cool.
Some kind of a
Astral
new
Chain
game
recently?
plus or whatever. That'd be pretty rad.
I still feel like it's kind of like a filler game for what's coming.
Astro Chain recently,
I
right?
mean, possibly, but even so, it's still going to
It
be
still
cool.
looks good.
It's
Yeah.
still going to be cool.
We'll see how it goes. All right, with that out of the way, scan
Yes.
time.
Scan
Where do we
time.
want to start?
Let's start Ultra. Let's start Ultra.
Okay.
First things first.
Oh God, here we go.
I'm gonna
Here we
break
go.
it down how it happened. All right.
No, I got some. I got. Yeah,
So
go ahead.
Monday during Frag's mobile suit, Frag's Monday stream. You know, mobile suit Monday. I think I called it that, but I don't know what Frag called it. Frag. Do a quick little plug in there.
Mecha Mondays.
There you go.
That's a thing I do.
I got beans.
All right,
Check.
cool.
We've been doing Maxiboost the last few times I've had time to do it at all, but
Ooh, my bad.
Anyway, continue the story.
So as it went down, we were pretty burnt out. You know, all our skills was pretty much going downhill. As soon as Supro dropped the scan for what we're gonna talk about, the actual picture, our besides laughing our butt off, right?
Chaos Dog!
Essentially, we got powered up because of it. And you know what, Supro? Kudos to you and Bandai. What the fuck is your problem? Let's talk about Zet's new form, ladies and
Ultraman
gentlemen.
Z Delta Rice Claw. That's what.
I mean, what can you complain about it? It looks so great.
He has Belial's head on a stick. What I'm gonna complain
This is
about.
sarcastic. I was being sarcastic, Gus. This was the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life.
But on the other hand, it's no worse than some of the shit Kamen Rider's gotten up to. So
The faceplate, the big sword
Okay,
faceplate.
when did
big-
Kamen Rider Zero pull out Endeg of Zeba's head on a stick?
Listen. We're
How
talking.
about when Zio had his face on a sword? How about when Deno had his
Yeah,
face?
Deno had like 4
faces
heads
Zio
on
is
swords.
arrogant as all
Stab their
hell.
head into it.
Zio is just being arrogant.
Look,
It's his head.
listen.
It's not
So-
someone else's.
Bandai has done the
Let me-
faceplate sword joint before, is what we're saying. This time it's a whole
But
head.
not with a character who isn't even in the show.
It's a cool idea, I will
He
admit.
is sort of.
Sort
He's
of,
central to the setting.
we go.
He's kind of,
It's still stupid that his face is on it, but
It is hilarious at the same time. It's like
exactly. I'm willing
It's
to
like-
give it if not a pass, then at least be like, I can't believe they actually thought this was a good idea.
yeah, this is essentially boils down to Bandai. What are you doing?
Yeah, but outside of the weapon, the suit, in my opinion, it looks okay. I still prefer the Mystic one. The Mystic one he had a little bit more than this one.
I think the suit could look a lot better. Yeah.
Yeah, because like it looks okay, but it just feels off. Like it looks like a cosplayer's tried to pull off an Ultraman suit, and he just had a minor bug that he didn't get right.
Oh, shot! I tried to avoid it. But that,
Listen,
like,
it was
that's-
either that or a Chaos Dunk, and I am ready.
Alright,
Sorry,
So that's how
so
I feel on it. But
That's
overall, like,
happening.
it looks okay. Let's see what it can do visually when we get down to that episode.
The actual form itself looks pretty much like
Gridman.
like somebody mentioned Gridman colors, and at
Please.
first I
I did.
wasn't seeing it, and then I was like, "Yo, that's a Gridman color scheme." Baby Dan, baby Dan.
Also, when will that crossover be a thing?
Ultraman
That
X
was-
Gridman,
that would
the
be-
crossover rid itself, and they didn't do it.
Yeah, it's kind of happened in stage shows, but not quite.
Really? Send me a link.
It's there's been I've seen pictures, but not actual footage, so it
I'm
might
gonna finish
just
right
be
now.
like.
Dude, stage shows is where you see a lot of crazy thing happen. You just
anything
realize
can
that.
happen in a freaking stage.
Stage show. Like another Omachio, which is weird.
Alright.
I should have liked the idea though. I should have liked the idea. You have a head of an enemy on your sword. That's badass. But
I really hope Belial talks to
Not even
him.
your enemy!
I really
Like,
hope Belial
enemy.
talks to him.
In a realistic sense, that is like it's not badass
Sorry.
and disrespectful at the same time.
Yeah, I really hope Belial talks to him. I really
Look,
do.
I didn't think I could dislike Ultraman Z any more than I already do.
I mean,
but
at least they ain't try to
Z
bring him
found
up.
a way.
Like you know,
As Gene would say, let my dad rest. Dad die.
You know,
Let him
let
rest.
him die in peace, please. Let him rest.
They can't.
But y'all did too much with this man for I don't know how many
God.
years. Leave him alone.
I would love if they just let him rest, but no, they took out his head and put it on a stick.
Okay, I think I'm missing. Okay, if Zen is talking, I was actually hearing something. We can
no.
back.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I'm just.
Don't do this. Don't do this. Don't do this.
Oh, sorry.
I was on my way. I was on my way. No.
Alright,
Oh.
so...
So,
Belial's
yeah.
head on a stick aside.
Belial's head on a stick aside.
Peter Piper had a stick.
Hey, Silver. Here we go.
It was honestly really funny, and you can see Bandai at work with this form.
There must be other villain you can use. There's a ton of other villain.
Yes, they could have, but
And the Zeo sword...
Bandai was like, it's got to be
up.
someone people recognize.
Yeah.
It's got to be someone the
Put a
kids
tyrant head on it
recognize.
then.
Just to bring up the
Kids
faceplate on the
Let's bring up
sword.
the Zeo, what's it called? The Psycho grade. The one that had Zeo's head on it. That fit with the aesthetic of Zeo. Alright?
Fair enough.
The whole thing with having his name on the weapons and everything. His name is written on everything. So
Fair enough.
Besides, that's more like a
it makes
mask.
sense that
The main thing
If
is you
one
can
step
see
forward with
Bandai's
this, put his
handiwork
face
at
on
it.
That's just a mask. It's not a head.
exactly. It's just a mask on the sword. This is his actual head. And
Still
it's
a
not
bad idea
even-
though.
If it was Zet's own head, I would be a little more forgiving, but it's not.
If it other
Hey,
monster head,
Belial
I'll be
brings in them
forgiving as
Bandai
well.
dollars, man.
Nothing
All
make a
about them
statement.
Bandai yen, my friends. It's just how it is.
Nothing make a statement better than
Alright,
having your
alright,
enemy head on the
alright.
freaking pike.
Okay, so...
You know
Saber
what happened to the last guy go against
Cure
me?
Major, where are we going next?
Let's go Kira Major, then go to the Saber.
Alright, Kira Major.
Team power
Well, Kira
up.
Major is getting a new weapon, the Kira
that
Full
oh my
Arrow.
lord.
Along with that, they're getting a new
Again?
upgrade.
Not
Is it going to be like a bazooka, or is it
They
for
have
just
arrow.
one person?
It's a bow and arrow.
It's a bow
For
and arrow.
everyone, or
Everyone can use it.
The whole team's using it by the looks of it. So.
Yeah,
Oh, cool.
they treat
Okay.
it like a. I think there's like one picture that shows them all lined up like it's a Sentai bazooka, while Jiro's using it. But
I need
other
to
than that, it's a
It's
power up.
basically, you know, like like the Ghost Agers super
There
upgrade,
we
whatever that's
go.
called.
What's this?
It's basically like that, except for the Kira Majors now. It's been a while since we gotten one of these, so
Yeah, there were like separate power ups for teams, or like Red just gets a power up and he can share it with anyone else. But it's been a while since we had an actual legit team power up.
like a unified,
Yeah,
a unified power up for the whole team at once.
throughout the whole squad, you know.
and like the way they set it up is, and Peachy brought this up on the Discord. It's like the piggyback off of what Dunn said, how it all looks different depending on who
Yeah.
uses it. The main chest armor like the main portion, it depends on who has the I think the arrow or whatever.
Basically, the gem moves depending on who first uses the arrow.
Yeah.
Whoever first uses the arrow gets his gem in the center, and then I assume Jiru either goes off to the left or right depending on
Who else
who's
has the
using
center?
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. He just replaces the other person. So
Pretty dope.
I mean, it looks cool. It's supposed to be like a phoenix thing.
Yeah.
I like the bird design on the suit. So.
A lot of people, like, when I saw it, and I went to Twitter, a lot of people were like, hey, yo, is this a Bandai power? Not Bandai. A Neo Saban type power up? Because, like, it fits the aesthetic, but at the same time, it looks like it doesn't fit. If that
It looks
makes
better
any
than a
sense.
Neo Saban power up. I'll give it that.
True. But, like, I don't know. It's like, it's just that chest plate thing,
mean,
though. That's it. It's just like
the
the chest
arrow,
armor.
the actual
Saban?
arrow itself is a little simple for my taste, but I mean, it's fine. Like, it's not flashy or anything. It's just kind of like it has the same aesthetic as the rest of their weapons, except it's a bow and arrow.
I was gonna say, in terms of, sorry, go
It's
ahead.
not super flashy. All right, Silver, go.
I was about to say, in terms of Neo Saban power ups, we didn't really get like
They were
like a
mainly
unified
mech power-ups,
oracle.
unfortunately.
Right, that's it. You know, the only
Right.
power that they did, or at least tried to claim was a power up, was a whole Super Mega Force thing. Because they tried to use that as a power up for the team, which was really horrible.
The only one that they created that looked good was the Super Samurai modes in the mech, and the
But that
only one I
wasn't-
liked the most was
Yeah.
Silver's because he didn't have the mouth plate. It was just the
Right.
normal thing, but it was like silver. I mean, not silver. It was gold and
Gold.
black. Black and gold. So
Yeah,
it was good.
I understand that, but overall, like in terms of Neo Saban stuff, it wasn't really power up. It was just something that they used for like a single ranger, and that was it. It wasn't really a team power up like how every member gets the whole power instead of just sharing it.
Oh, that's
That was
like
good.
that's what I mean. Though, like a mech. Thing,
Yeah.
like Like they get mainly armor, but it's only when they're using their Zord.
They're only using it in right.
In the Zord,
then,
yeah.
Right, and also to mention Super Samurai mode too. But that's the same thing, though. I believe. Or no, Shogun mode.
Yeah, that's
Shogun mode
used
for
it
the mech.
once. Outside
Yes,
of
Shogun mode for the mech, and then Super Samurai mode, because only a few of them use that mode, and they can only use it one at a time. That's the part that sucks.
Wasn't that one actually in maybe I'm crazy.
Shogun mode, no. Super Samurai mode,
Shogun
yes.
mode, no. Super mode, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There
The
was
Super
that,
Samurai mode, or whatever it's
and
called.
then Ninja Steel. They did the whole Red Lion armor.
That was from the
That was from
the Ninja.
Yeah, that was from the Ninja.
Yes, but I just
Ninja.
you know, and some people try to claim that as a battleizer. I'm like, that's not a battleizer.
I mean, is there? It fits the battleizer mode.
It fits, but in a way, it's just nah. Because they basically used it like how they used the black box and Samurai and everything else, and they shared it to other rangers. They gave it to they gave it to Blue.
Battleizers can be shared though.
They gave it to all the guys.
Yeah, but I was gonna say in terms of, I mean, maybe they just never done it. That was just something that's never been done, so it kind of felt a little off. Because if you think about all the battleizers that we gotten before, they wasn't really shared. They was never shared. So that's why I'm going with it.
It was mainly like it fit the battleizer thing only because of like the episode around it. It was Red gets the power up, Red goes off with the power up.
Right. Now I say one thing what they have where they went a little different with it was with Lightspeed Rescue, because they gave Blue and Green their own little
Time Force as well,
or something like
that. As they call it, Mega Battle. Yeah, as they call it, is a Mega Battle mode.
Right, and I was gonna say, like, it won't feel too different with the Quantum Ranger because he's basically a red.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
He looks exactly like the red dude. Come on.
What's up,
like,
Aru? Welcome to the chat. Yes, it is. Full armor
he might be a
Gundam
Six
Alex.
Ranger, but he's still a red.
Yeah.
He is still
Yo,
a
the
red
Alex
ranger.
is awesome.
That's literally his color. So
are we gonna
Aru
fight
with
or
the
what?
hype.
Who hasn't ready to?
Yeah, who hasn't ready?
You know, so I'm just saying, like, in terms of like a battleizer power up similar.
I'm only in the match.
Lightspeed Rescue was definitely the first I've seen who have went that route.
all
right, Clank, you ready?
All right. So if Kira Major out of the way, we move on to the last one of the scans. Saber. Got some Saber.
This game has.
All right. So nothing much that we hadn't already seen.
Did we talk about Buster?
Yeah, no, we talked about Buster a little bit before, but here we get some actual our first good images of Buster, and we get his sword, which is awesome.
I want
the fact that the book just plugs directly into the sword, that's also pretty cool.
I want to get his driver. This is
this gameplay is great.
I might like this rider. I might like this one. I'm curious about it.
I'm already all on board. I love this aesthetic. It also confirms, this is just for me, but it confirms that Buster's turtle book is actually a divine creature book, not just a regular animal book.
Oh,
so it is a divine turtle.
What's his face? Nice job, dude. You forgot your freaking mythology. What's the name of the turtle?
Genbu?
Genbu, sure. That's the one.
Genbu?
That's what they call it in, that's what they're calling it in the show. Like Genbu something.
That's the one.
Yeah, the black turtle myth.
The black tortoise of China.
Yeah.
So this is confirmed to be that exact tortoise.
Sick.
Not that some other random tortoise.
No, he looks neat. I think parts of the sword look a little over-designed for my tastes, but then again, it looks pretty neat. So I'm willing to give it a pass.
I like it.
Look,
other than that, we also got... Turns out those free Megiddo dudes are monsters and not writers.
Did we put pics of it in the Discord?
Pics of the sword?
Yeah.
We have all the scans in there.
Okay, because all the scans are in the spoiler section of the Discord.
Yeah.
Not gonna have it, Echo.
After that, we got Megiddo's monster forms.
Yes, thank you. Look,
how did you hit me?
Let me bring it up real quick because I feel like we're gonna talk about it anyway. A lot of writer v writer. It's been happening recently. So when I see the monster generals, I just get excited because it's been a long time. For me at least, it's been a while since we had like an actual monster general to like face off against a writer. I'm excited.
Yeah,
For that.
I get you. I mean, technically that happened with Geo, but they're another writers.
Yeah.
So
In a weird.
they walk that line, but these are definitely like monsters.
Yeah,
So.
and that I like that.
They look pretty neat. Personal favorite.
You are lucky that you still had
I actually
boost.
quite like that, the white and blue one. He looks pretty.
Thank you.
Come on, go, but I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die.
Try to jump, please. No.
Oh, I could have held
I
you.
was gonna chaos dunk.
Oh, sorry.
was
dude.
ready.
Oh, we got one more new thing
Got
from
him.
the scan. Saber is getting another form.
Oh.
Needle Hedgehog.
Already?
I'm
Yes.
surprised they released that already. Like I never thought I'd see news on it so soon. And the
Hey,
show hasn't
Aru,
even
if
out
you
yet.
want, you can pick the next Gundam that I use.
They gave him another form, so he already has the Peter Pan form, the Jack and the Beanstalk form, and now a Hedgehog form.
I'm so cool.
So is this theme is all fairy tale? So what's gonna be the? I want to find out for me like a whole book of collection or something, or like.
That's probably what it will be.
I really hope not. I'm so
Saber
tired.
library form.
So tired.
What is one
freaking
story you would
let's
classify
put it all
as the final
together.
form?
Just I'd rather him get like a King Arthur form or something. To be honest,
Oh, that's true. But is
Like
King
a
Arthur a
golden-
fairy tale though?
it's,
Yeah.
It's a legend.
it's a
It
legend.
works.
There's a little bit of debate on that point.
God dang,
So
boys!
in most cases, they do try to add them into like a fairy tale type.
I think it's largely regarded as mythical as opposed to anything based in fully in reality.
Yeah,
But there may
Right.
be parts of it that were actually like based on a true story sort of thing.
Yeah, no, I've seen the documentaries.
I could get you, damn it.
So it's kind of fits into an awkward spot. I'd still put it, into fiction territory.
of you.
Ah, shoot, I got shot. Unlike Beowulf, which as we all know is 100% pure canon.
Really?
Wait, canon to like the history of Earth?
Yes.
So there's a guy who get a throne by being a monster
not
that
like
with
it's
his
just
bare hand.
history. No, it's canon. It's
It's
canon to the
canon.
history of Earth.
Yes. I think
All
we've
right.
established it's canon.
The easy 8.
Dude went around
God.
being an impossible
Frank, does
badass
this
for
game
like
have the
300
Maybe the
years.
final form be the freaking Bible.
This game has the easy 8,
You're
yes.
not gonna be the
All right, I will play this just for you. The easy 8.
Oh, if he's gonna do easy 8, it's time.
Oh,
the
God.
Bible is the final form.
Shut up, please.
All right,
Right,
dude.
but as for the Hedgehog form itself, it looks fine. It's a little busy, but overall it looks pretty fine. Looks okay.
Welcome to, Reiwa. Busy as key.
Yeah, I know.
Let's welcome
Sad
to-
but true. Which is why I liked the suit designs of Zero
Zero Two.
One so much.
Oh.
Because it's
Hey, we can
not
talk
busy.
about that during the retrospective.
that. he's got
First
a-
of all,
Oh,
I think
what
that's it
happened?
for scans, so
Yeah.
yay. So moving on to superhero time, Zet didn't get a new episode.
It
so-
kind of did, but it kind of didn't. It was more like an overview type of episode, kind of like a flash,
I
not
just have
flashback,
realization.
but what do we call it?
I think the thing I'm looking for is a clip
A
show.
clip
yes.
show. Yes, thank you guys.
Alright, so Zet just
we
got a
call
clip
it
show.
a waste of 30 minutes.
Fair enough. Sometimes they do like reveal something new at the end of the said clip shows, but I haven't gotten to check it out.
Riveting.
To be honest,
I will
so.
say now though that I dislike Wyndham even more. Turns out Wyndham is just a completely reused suit, so...
You don't know that?
You didn't know
Yeah,
that.
it's
No, I'm new to this! I
Right.
didn't know!
I forgot.
How would I have
You did-
known?
Hey, you lower your tone, sir.
You know, it's thanks to this thing you have Pokemon, right? Then you should be more grateful.
It's true. He's 100% right though. The capsule monsters from Ultra 7 are what Pokemon
I don't
come
care
from.
that they're Pokemon, it's fine that they're Pokemon. I care that they're reusing a suit for this show. That Wyndham is not a new suit. I have now... I will say I now have more respect for Savenger because that at least seems like it was a new suit. A
It's
new
not.
thing.
Wyndham
It's not?
to Pokemon is like Disney to
that
anime.
suit itself is, I think, but
Yeah,
it's
the suit itself is, but Savenger is not new.
Savenger is from Terra?
At least the suit is new and I will take it. I will take
Okay.
that. Alright.
Frank, stop beating me up with concrete. I'm sorry,
sorry.
Aru.
Alright. So, That's out of the way. Kira Major, we got plot. Yay, plot.
I have not checked it out yet, and I will.
Oh, why'd you do this? I was gonna stab him to death.
I will check it out, but Kira Major has been consistent so far, so I don't expect any bad things from it.
Wait, excuse me.
Yeah, no, subs aren't out. Well, actually, Overtime just posted the subs.
God, get that over.
We'll watch that later.
Yeah, I'm dead.
Yeah,
bro.
no. I've gotten some during the rewatch. I also rewatched a bit of Kira Major. I have a lot of respect for Kira Major right now. So.
Kira
He's
Major.
been pretty funny and consistent. So.
Oh God, Frag, that is brutal. I'm so sorry, Aru.
I'm sorry. I was like, oh, it's time for Chuck for friggin' Norris Packard.
No.
It's
I try my
time.
best.
Goodness.
Yes.
I try my best.
So-
I never used the Easy 8 before.
No, you're okay.
All
Easy
right.
It's kind of tricky. Once you get the hang of switching between his
So,
his
no one
beam
else,
rifle and his cannon, it's pretty rad.
Gotcha.
we don't have anything else for Kira Major.
Nope.
Moving on to the finale of Kamen Rider 01.
Let's
been waiting on
Alright,
this.
it's time, boys.
Yes.
Which made me think I just
Retrospective.
rewatched.
Let's just
Looking
let's
under
talk
the
about the
Blade
finale
Works.
first, just to like get that out of the way. Then we'll do the whole retrospective.
Fair enough.
That's what I'm.
Finale.
All right, so finale. The
Let's,
first the
let's,
fights
wait
were
a sec,
freaking
wait a
great.
sec, wait a sec.
All right, hold on.
I kind of want to start with Clank. Clank, you saw it, right?
Well, the finale, I'm like, I really don't want it to end, but it was a good series to the end.
I'm with you. I didn't want to end either, but this is the end. And I honestly think it was a pretty good ending.
It was
All things
good.
considered.
It was good. It was a little bit rushed because of COVID-19, unfortunately. But they did what they could, and they did pretty well. They did
I
pretty
Yeah,
feel
the
well.
whole like final arc.
I feel like despite this, they were going down to 7. It just they rushed through it.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah,
It's,
but you know,
it's
but-
more like a matter of. Oh shit, you're gonna do that? Fine.
I don't know how to do this.
But you know, but overall, it was a decent ending. And like I said, like it has to be rushed because of COVID. Yeah, and that's what sucks about that the show had to go through this because 2020 it was being a little bit rough on 01. Unfortunately, that's the sad part. It's kind of rough.
It was rough
for
on
Railroad
everything.
right now. You know,
It was rough
at the
on
start. Yeah, it was. I mean, of course, everything. You know, it was rough. We all know it was rough on everything. You know, I'm just talking about like since we're talking about 01, and like it was definitely rough on that one because he got held. You know, the actors have to be careful. So, but overall, this was good. You know, and it had a nice little setup for the movie.
Use this gun to
They had a nice
Yeah,
little setup for the movie
little
too.
clip. I honestly could have done without that. Just
Right.
I would have liked. I personally would have liked if it was just the finale, and this
Oh,
is it.
the Eden thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It was like, why would you blatantly Why would you blatantly show your movie at this point?
Yeah,
It's so late
No,
in the
I-
game.
I get
Action
why.
movie with less
I get
desperation
why.
for sequel base.
But it just like, just do the movie for goodness
yeah,
sake.
because now it's like you gotta do. Now it's like when you get here, you're like, okay.
But you
It's-
could honestly just take that out, and the finale is still the same. So,
Overall,
I mean, yeah,
You know,
but
but
now it's
Just
like,
like Thouser, you could take Thouser out, and the entire show would be exactly the same.
Okay, we'll talk about that in a bit. We'll talk about that in a bit.
look, fair enough. Fair enough.
puppy.
Look,
Yeah.
listen, man.
We'll get there. We'll get
Okay.
there.
I was
We'll
gonna
get
say,
there.
But like,
Oh,
because they did that
boy.
little scene with the movie writer, I feel because of that, it kind of doesn't take away. It kind of doesn't take away, but at the same time, it's like, huh. I feel like now I have to really watch the movie to get the definitive end because
Yes.
you teased this, and that's not
It's-
fair. That's
It's
fair
not
to
quite as
anyone.
bad as like Decade, but it's pretty.
yeah.
A lot of people
That
I
game
noticed were
haven't
kind of
They
completed
flat
upset
out,
with it.
if you remember XA, they flat out called the movie True End. So
Yeah,
there's that.
I mean, same writer. So.
I mean,
All
before
right.
that movie would feel very outjoined, so now they try to
As
incorporate
for
it.
the rest of the,
I can appreciate
as for the rest of the
that.
episode, the fights were awesome. Both halves of the Orobi versus Naruto fight.
I'm gonna say this right
freaking
now.
great.
Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works. They did it. They did it. They did it. Pick your weapon
They
off
totally
the
did.
ground.
I'm not the only one.
They summoned
was
swords
great.
out of nowhere. They did a whole thing Stay Night, and I'm not upset about it because I love that anime. But they did it. They did it.
Hey, Aruk, is there another Gundam I can use after this? Because I can't work with him. I'm trying my best, bro.
That fight, the first fight was freaking great with all the weapons and whatnot. And then the second half of the fight when Naruto goes into realizing Hopper.
Which is
you mean 0-1?
Yeah, that was
into that form.
That was
an
like
amazing.
the only worthwhile part of that form. I'm just like, it's just Shining Hopper graphical effects, and
that was more.
He's 0-1 again. And I'm like, come on, guys, you could do a little more.
I know
it was still okay. It's still like it was a good, finishing segment to the fight. Don't get me wrong.
Oh yeah,
but I was kind of like, I feel like.
Something from Wing?
Maybe there would have been a point.
Buddy.
Yeah.
Didn't you read the guidebook though?
I get it.
A Kamen can only finish his theory in final or base form.
Oh, okay. So
did you get the bubble?
Bill.
So
Bill
one thing I do appreciate though is how they did try to emulate basically the Kuga v N Dagobah fight. And then they like totally backed off and were like, we're not doing that now. And I'm like, but that would have been perfect. Just Horobi and Naruto beating the shit out of each other, hand to hand, no henshin suits. They were like, we're totally going for this. And I'm like, yeah. And then they're like, no, now we're henshining again. I'm like, oh, come on.
You gotta have
it
the
was still
there.
cool. It was still cool, but it would have been like,
it would have been a little better.
It would have been so slick.
If they were taking it out.
I get why they didn't kill Naruto. Because I was thinking he was gonna die. I get why they didn't, and I think the whole talk of his dad and whatnot. I think all that works pretty well.
It was
overall.
pretty, yeah.
Except for one
fine.
tiny little itsy bitsy teeny weeny yellow polka dot bikini problem.
Oh wow, that's a deep cut.
Satellite there has been gone. As was Izu at that point, who was the backup for Satellite Zaya.
Right.
So
it was in the driver. It's literally the zero.
I think it was.
When did they ever explain that? Give
they
me an
made
episode
it out
and
of
a
Zaya.
time.
Did you see the thing
No,
out of it?
Zaya built it, yes, but
His dream.
Remember
the whole idea.
like, if you want to give
Memory disc come out
Ultraman
of-
shit for ass pulls, that's fine. But this was nonsense. This was
He
abject
said all
nonsense. They're like, oh
bikinis
yeah,
are
the satellite's
pretty
gone.
Yo,
He is the
come on,
satellite
man,
now.
it's crazy.
Satellite is 01 and 01
Look,
is Zia.
Because
That's
every
fake.
time he goes into the Henson, literally the satellite just pops out every time. So maybe Izu implemented some of
The memory
guys
stick
that he had
literally
of
came
Zaya
out of
into
Izu,
this.
and it became the 02 key.
Cause she did make it appear just like that. So it
I mean,
wouldn't-
a
it
lot
wouldn't
of
make
people
sense
did
for it.
like. A lot of people
on
did
top
have
of
problems
that-
with this ending, though.
On top of that,
Yeah, a lot of
Naruto-
people did have problems with this ending.
Well, mostly because it's a non-ending for
Yeah,
starters.
it's
But
it's not bad, but you can don't hype up something like we're doing something completely different for the Rayla, and then go kind of do a back to basics ending. Don't do that.
If it wasn't for the movie, for the little movie tie-in, I feel like this ending would have been freaking great.
It would have. It was.
That really helped. My only real issue is that they just rebuilt Easy. That's my only real
That was
issue.
a lot of people's issue too. You're not the only one.
Technically, is Easy? I really feel could be like, was that Easy or
think
just
it would've been
a
better.
lookalike?
Oh my god, Frank,
I
Jesus.
think it would have been better if they just left her dead and just been like,
Left her dead or
Naruto
something.
vows to continue working on their dream together.
Yeah.
you know,
Right.
though, that did lead to a great moment where it was
That would've been-
evident that Naruto is certifiably insane because a dude goes at either the VP or the VP's underling is like, so you think that by actually going back and telling her about all the things you did that she's gonna come back exactly the same? And Naruto is like, yup.
Yes.
And I'm like, no, that's not how
No,
that works.
I
she's
agree
not
with
going.
you.
She's
Whatever
not
you want
going
to believe,
She's not
okay?
going to experience her mortal brother's death.
Yeah.
It's like there's no point. Leaving her dead would have had actual impact, but as it is, it's like
I get it.
it felt
Naruto
like
kinda-
such a cop out.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, she totally be the same. No one say anything. We don't need another psychopathic mother rage again. You want 02 on the ass again? Just nod your head and say yes. She totally be the same. Freaking! I just realized he walked every fight ever since he becomes 02 beside the final fight. I mean, there's that, but that's the point. He kind of like just walked through every fight he's been in ever since he become like 02 or something. Until the final fight.
Ow.
Shit.
No, his first fight was 02, and what is it? The one
Oh, tell me one time he actually struggled with 02.
No, I'm about to say nobody. Ever since I got that far,
I had like no
no
hope.
one struggled with it. Like it was just,
It just literally like kind of like.
it was just a
Okay,
straight
but
up you off.
for me,
Okay.
other than those little nitpicks, I thought this episode was pretty good. It was a nice finale.
It was nice. It was nice seeing. It was nice seeing the characters get closure and how
Yep,
they was all able to move along. I like what they did with Vulcan a little bit. I felt like
Vulcan
with Vulcan's
is
part,
a main character. Vulcan
is Vulcan at this point?
take
Is he a
this
human?
man's Vulcan, take that man 01 driver, because you are obviously the main character at this point.
Vulcan is one of two characters that actually got reasonable character development. And
Alright,
it offends me
hold on,
that the
just
main
look at-
cast didn't.
Alright.
Okay, we'll talk about it when we go through
freaking car
characters.
off his
alright?
hinge.
Alright,
What is that?
Hold on.
Okay, one
As
of
for
three.
his
Fine.
resolution in this episode, it was a decent resolution.
Yes,
He
as-
just
Alright, so in
he's
terms
a
of
wandering
the
hero.
final episode, how about this? In terms of final episode, what would you score it out of 10? There you go. Everybody get
7.
I'll give
Okay.
7.
A 7.
I give 7.
Bragg, what about you?
7.5. I'll give it a 7.5.
1.56. Yep.
I give it a 6.
I'm with Echo. I've got to give it a 6. I wouldn't say it's abysmal. It's not the worst
it's
ending
not
we've
bad.
had.
It's not
but
bad,
Honestly,
but
that's all.
it
We're
just-
all pretty even then.
It feels just like a bit of a cop out.
The
It's just like,
UPW fight help a lot.
No, I can understand that. I can
and there's a
understand
lot
that.
of the
They
later
could've done-
series
they
just
could've
feels
done
like they
more.
had no idea what they were
I will
doing.
100% agree. They could have done more with
they
this.
they could have done more, and they
but like
could have
I
not
said-
tacked on that movie thing. That kind of.
Honestly,
there's
if
big
it wasn't
reason
for
for
that
it.
movie promo, it would have been a solid 8.
I probably would have gave it a
promo,
7.
and once
I probably
again-
would have gave it a 7.
Yeah, I
it
bumped
was
it
still
up a
rushed.
point, no problem.
It was still rushed.
Yeah.
You know, that was mostly the main
Alright.
reason why they probably didn't do what they could have done.
As
I'm
for
a
everyone
3K
else's
my
ending,
bad.
Yua and Naki are working at Ames now. That makes sense.
Yeah, I had no complaints with that. I'm like, Naki is relevant now, I guess. That's fine.
Is that a V
Yeah.
cinema build?
Right.
For
I
the
feel like they're gonna
finale,
do
I mean,
cinema
it was nice
tonight.
that they had something there.
I'm surprised we haven't got
Decent
any
build-up.
resolution at all, but it's good to see.
I'm not gonna lie, I too did not expect to see him again.
To space.
I was like, oh, they're
All
just
right.
gonna ignore him. And he's like, I'm here. Space time. And I'm like, okay, dude.
Hauser just has a bunch of dogs now, just a bunch of puppies.
Yeah. Can
Just
you,
who would not? Okay?
I think we should steal one. We should steal one from him. Let's go.
We
Go to
need
Dr.
more
Brown,
robot
still
puppies.
one.
Operation Steal a Puppy from Thouser, ladies and gentlemen.
So they will not die.
We're gonna
So-
plan it.
We're gonna
plan it.
Ocean's
I had a
11
really
Thouser
long
puppy.
diatribe planned where I was gonna like do a blow by blow of where everything went wrong, as far as I could see with with 01. But let's not do that.
Yeah.
And instead,
Just
let's talk about how this show had a really nasty tendency to do complete
but
and total
hold on.
single episode character
all right.
180s.
Let's start. All right, now we're gonna start the 01 retrospective
All right,
review
yes,
joint.
okay.
So,
We're
all right,
done with
first-
the actual episode.
First
Into this
things
retrospective. Let's go.
first. First
Okay.
things first. Let's talk about some positives. Okay, we're gonna go down the list, talk about some positives. Okay,
All right.
I want to get the bad out first.
nah.
I feel like we should do this like topic wise. Like I had the bullet points. So
Oh
let's
yeah,
just-
okay. How about that? Like, for each bullet point,
And then we can
Doug
just
brings
talk
out,
positives and
we'll do
negatives based
pros
on
and
each bullet
cons.
point.
Pros and cons.
All right.
That work?
So, point 1, story. What do you guys all think of the story?
All right, let's start. I'm doing the round table with this one. Who wants to go first?
I feel like I might want to wait.
Okay, Clank, do you want to go first?
Here, I'll volunteer. I'll go first.
Go first then.
All right.
Okay.
Story-wise, okay, so starting off with the setting and everything,
Let's do pros.
it's just the future, except we also have like robots walking around, so not really much different. Basically, I think that's fine. They could have probably gone into a bit more, but it's just, hey, this is just the world, except now there are just robots everywhere. So, fine. As for like
oh, we're doing
how the story
retrospective
progressed,
for
we got
0-1.
the Metsubo Jinrai arc, which is probably one of the best arcs, probably second arc. Metsubo Jinrai arc, which is basically just them fighting Metsubo Jinrai. That was solid. Metsubo Jinrai, I feel, are good villains. They worked as the first villains in the story. We get the Bowser arc, which is very different.
Oh boy, Bowser.
What is with that
Definitely
move?
one of the weaker arcs. Alright, I will say that, even for me. But I didn't think it really ruined the story at all. It made sense for what Bowser was trying to do. And he was trying to prove the superiority of all his tech and stuff. So it makes sense that he would do a competition.
Oh, you son of a bitch. You thought you slick.
And I think it worked overall, just for me. Just for me. I personally liked it. Then at the very tail end of that, he gets Eden Intelligence, and we start Eden Manufacturing. I personally, that was probably that was unfortunately cut short because of the COVID stuff.
Ah, shit.
All that free after that.
She's good.
After he takes over, and then up till the arc, because the arc just kind of pops in. Anyway,
All right.
they wanted to do more of that, I'm sure, but they just got cut. But as for him, it's nice to see Aruto like running a company by himself, like his own thing, not just inheriting it from his grandpa.
Yeah.
Well,
He actually like
okay.
he has. You know what? I'm going to start this company now. I'm not just gonna like run away from this. No, I'm gonna do this myself as Eden Aruto, and not just running off my grandpa's legacy.
So
Fair enough.
with on that point though, we never really see him actually doing any work.
He does a little work.
He
He's a
like
little bit.
stands
He does
there
a little
next
bit.
to a thing and says,
His
"Let's
work is
press
getting
the
huge.
on button."
Okay.
Well,
And then Izu did everything, presumably recoding.
to be
Well,
fair,
he's an over gonna scrap beat out her ass every time she fights.
So
Alright.
he's like, he is technically formed a company to do this thing. Yes.
well, to be fair, the dude had no experience in running.
Exactly.
Yes,
Yeah, no,
which is kind of a problem for
In
him
running a
starting another
company.
company.
well, when he was starting the
mean,
company, he had experience with the first
He
company.
had, because he had to learn. You can't just sit there and not learn a job. You got to learn as you're going.
Right,
along the
but
way.
we see no evidence of this ever. They had
Okay.
like 40 episodes to do that. They don't.
Maybe they'll
He
do it
doesn't
in the
have
movie.
a moment where it's like, oh, here, I'm learning this thing, but you see him change as the story goes.
No, we don't.
I argue you do.
When do we see him change? When is he anything other than herpadur, we're gonna make the Humagears our friends? Forget the slavery aspect. And what'll happen when they learn about the fact that they're indentured servants with no rights or
You're
free
gonna
will?
say the Aruto that we meet at the very beginning of the series is the same one we meet. What is that? Episode like 30 something? They're the same. Is that what you're saying, Frag? The exact same.
At episode 30 something, absolutely they're the same character.
I
His
don't
motivations never change until Izu dies.
But the way he approaches it is, a bit
Yeah,
more
the way he
experienced.
approached. Just because
Which
the
ultimately
motivation-
doesn't change. He keeps walking up to people being like, hey, guess what? Humagears are awesome. You should be their friends.
Well, keep
and
from
it's
the
like-
same
half like,
human gears.
He
Anyway.
has his company stolen from him.
That's
because
what
he's
we're
an
talking about
idiot.
that.
That man is a cheater. Okay.
Absolutely.
That ain't got nothing
Cheater.
to do with him. That's just Bowser being a
Alright.
cheating.
So we get
I
to
was
the
all
Eden
on him.
Manufacturing
So-
arc, and then we get the break. And then after the
At this
break,
is meant
Arc
Dodo,
pops out.
Bowser's normal.
Alright, so
Honestly, basically out of nowhere, Arc just pops out.
so done. You
I would-
so overall
fuck.
done. You enjoyed the story, is what you're saying.
Yes.
Okay. That's fine. That's all well and good.
Honestly, the arc once the arc gets introduced,
So what was your weakest like? What did you like the least about the story? Let's hear that.
God
Least
damn it.
favorite arc would probably be
You're finished.
honest,
I don't
probably
think I'm
like
dead yet,
even
Echo.
manufacturing arc.
Okay.
After he gets his, the episode when he starts the company is pretty good, but there's a little downtime in there where he's kind of just like going through.
God, I'm getting hard
It's a little bit of fillery episodes up until like Metsubo Jinrai comes back and is like, "Hey, we want to get Metsubo Jinrai all together. Give us a few." Up until those episodes.
That cock blocking. Damn it.
But that like little bit in there, I honestly kind of like the tournament arc. It made sense why Bowser did it.
Okay.
And everything was enjoyable
Oh no.
for the most part for me anyway. The arc, everything from after the arc introduced is freaking great.
What? Behind me?
After the break, all the stuff with the arc and then post arc / Aruto is the arc. That was all really good.
Yeah.
All right. Fair enough.
See,
my
I'd
opinions.
like. I'd argue that arc coming back was the only thing that made sense, and the entire Thouser arc is just like total filler because nothing really, other than Aruto losing his company, and you needed to have a vessel by which that happened, even though it changed nothing about him. Let's face it. It's he like arc coming back is the only thing that was going to happen.
Right.
But the biggest, most pressing issue is that as soon as it became clear in before episode 15, that that evil AI is still farting around underwater in the blasted crater. Why did they not like nuke the site from orbit? Why did they not?
You know they can't nuke it from orbit.
Okay, why did they not use a
How do you know
lower
they
Earth
haven't
orbit
tried
ion
yet?
cannon? Why did they not send in a Navy SEALs dive team and blow it the fuck up? It makes no sense.
There's no
right here.
military here. There's only guy in spandex for some reason have, military grade weapon even though they're all civilian. And,
So-
company
Alright.
president.
All right, so Blaze, I want to move on to you. How do you feel about Zero
I
One
kind of
Story?
share the same opinion with Dunn. I rally once in a while. Pretty much what make me like Zero One is the same thing. I kind of like the off way he loses company because I like the writer when they realize they of all their shit talk they kind of fair when it comes to running a company and then pay the price for it. Then we see he doesn't mope around too much and
makes
actually
sense that he
let's
failed.
pick
It
up my
makes sense
bike
that he
and go collect some robot and actually work my damn. It's actually satisfying to see. I'm not asking for more because this is still a show about guy in armor beating the shit out of each other, so they're forced to have to show other things, but the fight is count basically. Shit.
Okay.
Yo, I
Okay,
thought-
As a thousand though, I cannot blame him. Anybody give me a goddamn robot puppy, I'll change my mind. Okay, I do not blame the guy.
So how about Thouser doing a single episode, in one episode, having a complete 180? There's not a single hint before that point in time that
I
he
will
had a
give-
robot friend.
Right? Do you want to
I
blame
will give
something?
you that. I will honestly.
I
give
will
you-
say the only good thing about that moment with Bowser, the only good thing about it is that he was not accepted right away. That's
Yeah, they
the only
didn't
thing
bend
I like
over.
about
They
it.
Yeah.
didn't bend over backwards to make it happen, which was good. But the whole thing shouldn't have happened. He should have been a
He should've-
sulking, butthurt man-child
Yes.
lurking in the friggin' supply closet.
plotting his revenge, and then he'd be the
moping
movie
in his
villain.
misery. And that's not because I hate Thouser. He's awful, he's despicable, and he's vile.
He's a
but,
villain.
We love him for it.
But
Well, you love
he's a
him.
villain, and at a certain point, it's like, no, you've got to bring home. You can't. This is a man who does not need a redemption arc. He wouldn't want one. He's not
be
that
fair-
kind of character. He would never want us to give him a redemption arc.
Nah, but he would want us to give him a puppy.
Yeah, and we
That's
can-
what we're
to be fair,
supposed to
though,
believe.
I'm
Which is the
pretty sure
stupidest
because Auto
fucking
go around and
shit.
hypnotize people with his machine.
Oh yeah,
That's what I
his
got. That little
the
thing
therapy
is a
box.
hypnotizing artifact, okay? He can say whatever, that is a goddamn mind control
Yo,
machine, they just
how
didn't realize
about-
it.
How about that
therapy
entire
box.
part where they're like, "Yo, let's totally like get Jin's personality back," and then they're like, "Oh shit, we're not gonna put him on the little device. We completely forgot to like actually involve Jin being downloaded anywhere in the last episode." I'm just like,
Nah, man, he got downloaded
miss a
to a
page.
body to see his daddy again.
They were
And
working on it.
eventually-
They just didn't finish it. They were working on it. They just didn't
guys
finish it.
have issue with me, aren't you?
It's mainly just because it's they, like I said, they rushed it. They were going down this path. They were going down this path for the final episode.
No, yeah, I don't think the episode really, the ending of the series didn't change too much because of.
Yeah.
Let me finish my samurai move. Who keep interrupting me?
Get him.
All right. Anyone else? Who's next with thoughts on the story?
All right. Let me get into my thoughts because I was still like watching the last few episodes before I got everybody together. Oh man, look. In terms of arcs, I liked the first chapter of 01. That was pretty good. That was pretty good. The whole aspect of like the human gears and all this, like, whoa, they're turning like Metsuko Jinrai, they're starting Ruckus and all that. I love that. I like the whole, one of my favorite moments, the Shining Hopper moment. I love that. In the early episodes, I think one of my favorite joints, like one of my favorite episodes, was like the first three, for the fact that when they just introduced every character, well, the main three writers, I should say, their introduction fights, pretty good. We got to see what they were about during that, and I liked it for the most part. The second arc, the tournament arc, I did not like the tournament arc. This show did not need a tournament. I don't know what the point of that was, other than for Aruto to lose his company. I get that. I get that.
Tournament?
I get the whole Bowser trying to like take his company. It was a tournament arc. It was just a silly
It's
tournament.
absolutely a tournament arc.
It was a silly tournament arc.
It makes sense that Bowser, he would want to do it legally, and he would want to do it in a way that shows the superiority.
Yes, I agree with that, but it was just being a tournament arc is a way that I wouldn't see happening in this show. It's just that will put me off until the final part. The final part of it, like with the whole rapper human gear and all that. I like that.
MC, check it out.
Yes,
that was like one of the few episodes in that felt remotely natural.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. That was great. He's like, you know what? You guys suck. Give me that shot riser. I'm going in, not shot riser. Zetsuma riser. Give me this. I'm killing all of you. I was like, okay. Why they do this to my boy? Check it out. See, y'all done did it. Y'all done did it like this.
And they never brought him back. I'm fucking incensed. Incensed they didn't bring him. And that also shows how much of a hypocrite that Aruto is, that he never brought him back.
Yo, where my boy? Check it out. Check it out. Deserves better.
Check it out was like, yo, I've got actual free will and I'm going to use it. I have agency in this show where even the main character, some of the main cast has no agency.
Okay, so just to counter that, immediately after the incident with MC Check It Out, he lost his company.
Yeah.
He lost everything.
Yeah, because he's a
really
freaking idiot.
But he didn't really
then he
have
gets
a
his
chance to
company
bring
back.
They could have brought him back later on.
They could have brought him back. They could have showed him even once. At any point in time in the intervening 20 episodes.
Unfortunately.
And that is why you don't let Bandai do anything with your fucking Toku series.
Bandai dollars.
Bandai.
But no,
you do realize Bandai is like the big three, right?
Yeah, we know.
Yeah,
but we still
painfully aware.
We still like the show.
Okay.
Why do you think I'm angry? I like tilting at windmills.
That being said, the tournament arc I didn't like, other than the last part of the tournament.
Come on. I mean, I've heard
now.
Meadow Cluster.
The tournament. See, that's why I didn't like it. It was forgettable up until that point. Check it out. I didn't like it just because of that. And then there's I swear I changed my Gundam, but I guess it didn't count. Frag is he body. Now for the part after that, I like the whole thing with you when she's like, all right, you know what is up with you guys in these dreams? What is dreams and all this? And then she's like, she had enough. She teams up with Vulcan and she beats the shit out of Bowser. I enjoyed that. And
I think everyone enjoyed that.
Yeah. After that though, it started going downhill again for me. It's just like I didn't care enough at that point to like keep watching 01, but I decided to like I wanted to finish it. I needed to see how it ended, and it's just like that's what I mean. Like it was just tough for me. It was at that point. After that, I didn't have fun watching the show, but I wanted to see how it ended, so I stayed.
You mean when they actually got the main villain involved?
When they got Arc involved, like I said, the fights were cool and all, but it's just like, it was like that. I was already drained from the show at that point. It's like, it picked up a little bit toward the end, though. It did. I will give it that. Especially with the whole. It picked up a lot. Especially when the best part of like the whole final chapter was the whole Izu's death, Arc 1, all that. That was good. Until we get to the ending, which was kind of, but even then, it wasn't. It was still satisfactory. Yeah, it was still satisfactory. Like 01, I'll give it this. It's an okay start for the Railway era. It's an okay start. That's all I can say about it. Other than that, I guess I did genuinely like the first part. And that's it.
All right. Anyone else want to talk about the story?
I guess I'll go.
All right.
Go Silver.
Yeah, go ahead, Silver. And then after that, I do want to talk about Reiwa the First Generation because that's.
I was going to get into that with this. I was going to get into that with this story too.
Oh, okay, so let's talk about it then while we do it.
Okay.
Well, you talking about whatever show or movie? Just go. Go.
Movie. Yeah.
I'm just gonna go straight down the line as I talk about the 01 plot and then tie in the Reiwa 7 if that's okay.
Okay, sure.
Yeah,
but,
sure.
basically with 01, you guys know I love this series. It's pretty good in my opinion. And in terms of story,
I'm with you on that.
I really enjoyed 01. I really did. At the start of it, it gave me the whole Detroit Become Human vibe. If you guys are familiar with that game, it gave me
for me all day.
You know that's it. Like obviously they didn't do exactly what they did in that game, but it's not bad. So, that's okay. And Autoto's the main character. I cannot hate. Because he's supposed to be the more upbeat, positive guy. All he wanted to do was put smiles on people's faces, even though he was horrible at it. He still pursued it. Let's be real. He was horrible at cracking jokes. Now he was horrible at it. Not one person laughed except Vulcan. That was it.
He kind of gave me a good chuckle.
I had a few chuckles. They were like dad jokes, and I like dad jokes.
I'm talking about in people in terms
of the show.
Yeah, in the series, nobody.
Yeah, that's what I'm referring to.
I do love how Izu consistently would like
explain the joke.
Well, she'd explain the joke, but she'd also play along, which I always thought was really charming.
Right.
Izu was adorable. We can all agree.
Yeah. So I think it has some decent storytelling, especially in between characters, especially how Autoto was based off around how he had a bad incident because he lost his father and then they made a human girl that resembled him, and he had a pretty close relationship with that. So I'm like, okay, that's pretty much
brief interjection on that point. I'm not disagreeing, but a funny thing about that, it's the way it's presented in series is it's essentially Aruto's fault that the awful event occurred, because you'll notice every time they show him doing his apupu stupid face at his father, everything explodes immediately afterwards.
Okay.
So Ark basically said, "Nah, enough's enough."
He said,
"End the human race."
I'm tired of your jokes.
Okay.
So I thought, I was like, they just have everything explode every time he does that. Is that a coincidence, or are we getting a message here?
All right.
I'm sorry. Continue.
Okay. But basically, I get it, like with this type of character being so upbeat and everything, I didn't really expect him to put a whole lot into him, but I'm kind of happy with what they've given us with him, because especially with him taking over his grandfather's company, he had to struggle maintain the responsibilities that he had no experience in. But as a character, he still tried to.
It didn't help that his vice president
to work away around it.
didn't help him.
He still tried his best to work away around it in terms of convincing people that human gears are fine, but the next you know, lots of other guys just try their hardest to separate the two. So they tried to stop him from achieving his dream. And as a president, he did whatever. Like, I ain't gonna say like he did a whole lot, because like Frag, I'm not disagreeing with you on what you said entirely, or like what he did as a president. But to be fair, he still had less experience. But while he was still doing it, he tried a tad bit, especially while he was learning.
He definitely tried, but he didn't seem to really ever do like any actual managerial work.
Which is true.
He did product promotion. I'll give him that, and that is important. And he did that, and he did try. He didn't do a great job, but he did make progress on that front. He did occasionally.
He did the best.
But as far as actually managing a company, he's really just kind of leaving it to everyone else.
Right, but to be frank, it's not like they gave him the whole. Because I don't want to say I don't want to say they gave him like the whole management stuff, Because I was trying to say like. I can't even explain that. Really, they just didn't show
I tried to give you a brief shield.
I just wanted to see Aruto do paperwork the entire episode.
Not the entire series, but at least one episode where he has to do some paperwork.
He did. Right? The opening always show him do it.
The opening.
But the main thing about the but in terms of that, one thing I liked about the character, and
I'm so done running into that. That's me.
It was also the downfall of such a positive character like this, especially in terms of the arc when he appeared and when Izu got killed. Now that was something that I thought was really good to see such a happy character turn that fell right into darkness.
I'll give you that.
Fell right into darkness.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That was when they. But yeah, my only problem with that. Yeah, my only problem with that is it's like you really can't leave adding actual important moments of depth for a character, particularly the main protagonist, for 3 episodes from the end.
Yeah, like
4 episodes from the end. Whatever. It's like now rushing. Yeah. Covers some of that due to Corona, but it doesn't like that only gives you like a couple episodes of grace period. Right. It doesn't justify it being 3-4 episodes from the end. It's like the entire final episode build up.
The incident for that is killing Izu. You don't want to have like half the series where Izu's dead.
Right. I think you could have, because I think you could have had him trying to manage.
But obviously they didn't. They wanted to make Izu's death like super important for the finale.
They could have used other ways to like give him some type of development.
Because a great thing they could have done then is then he has to manage the company on his own without Izu's help.
Right.
Alright, I can see.
Ray, I feel like Ray was the first generation. Gave him some development and then he took it all away.
I feel saying like I kind of felt that he had a little bit of development in Ray with the first generation.
Yeah,
and that's where his father definitely tried to earn. Because like his father
like he got some in that movie, but they took it all away.
Yeah, and I was going to implement into that. But,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, the father bit was
great. And what I disliked about it, like, so far, like, on what I didn't like about 01, or what I liked a little bit less, it wasn't really much. Like the arc, I kind of agree with Dunn on the arc that he didn't like, because I didn't really, like, it wasn't like I flat out hate it. It's just something I care for less. But every other arc I thought was decent. I definitely enjoyed.
It wasn't like advancing the story.
Right. The whole CEO battle arc. Like, obviously, it wasn't the biggest things, but I don't find it completely unnecessary, because we have stories where they do a whole CEO battle where someone tries to steal a company under somebody, and that's that's the route that they took with this, especially when Aruto is running a company that provides a whole bunch of AI technology, and then there's a person who wants to prevent that. Because he doesn't support the whole AI tech. He wants to prove that humans are way much more capable than a whole useless robot. But that was the whole message of that, and all Aruto wanted to do was prevent that.
I get that. I get the whole idea behind it, but I will say they could have done it a different way instead of going to the tournament. That's just my thing. That's why I didn't like it.
Well, I mean, maybe. Like, okay, maybe, but my thing is...
In an alternate universe, maybe they did do it in a different way. Unfortunately, we're not in that universe. We're kind of stuck.
And that's why...
And, and put it in a more realistic sense, like, if they didn't call it a tournament, they're still going to be battling out for it. It's like, because literally all they have to do is just be like take out the tournament part. All they got to do is, all they have to do is be like, oh yeah, this like we got more sales than them. This is our ratings, and they pretty much did a little bit of that in this tournament, but just different. They just be like, oh yeah, we won more than them. We're in the lead. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. But overall, it still would have had that same bit of concept, even if they did take out the whole tournament sense in it. If they took out the whole tournament sense, they're still competing. Yeah,
they still would have been battling. It just Bowser wanted to make it.
That's the whole key of it. So whether or not if they included the tournament part in this arc or not, it would not be too big of a difference.
Your sacrifice would not be in vain.
If I'm being completely honest, it wouldn't have been too. But overall, what I really enjoyed about this series, mostly the major respect to Ichigo in terms of what they did for him. Like they didn't do it like
Ichigata.
Yeah, Ichigata.
In the movie,
in the movie, but also a little bit of 01's transformation because he's also grasshopper related, and then you know like that's something I thought was like a little bit of a respect to Ichigo. Because Ichigo, because like his Kamen Rider design is fully based on Grasshopper, and then we got 01 and Ichigata, which pretty much respects it. Ichigata more than 01, but still, it still has that little bit of respect to him. So I really respect that of this series. And Reiwa was definitely something I really enjoyed. A nice story. The whole Geo aspect, I didn't too much care for, if I'm being completely honest. It was just a little ant. This ant.
Honestly, Zero wasn't even there that much. He's just like, hey, look.
And the Time Jacker wasn't.
The Time Jacker was trash. Let's be real here.
Horrible.
The Time Jackers are always trash. They are always trash.
All right.
So yeah, but like that's how I feel on it. Like I appreciate all the other arcs. I like the way how it was executed. It, like I said, like Riella said, the ending could have been better, but it wasn't. It could have been horrible. Like, it could have been worse. It could have been worse.
I agree.
Okay.
I agree. Like, how do you?
All right. So, anyone else have more thoughts on the story?
I want to move on to Clank and then Frag, and then we'll move on to the other stuff. But in terms of Reiwa, the first generation, I did like the Zeo bits because you could tell at that point, since they all got all their memories back. Jill was just like, all right, let me show you why I'm a vet. And he was on his king shit. That movie, bro. He was on his king shit. And I liked it.
Shit.
He came through with authority, and then the final battle, he's like, look, timey-wimey stuff happened. I can't let you have your memory. I can't let you remember anything that went on during this movie.
Let's duke it out.
I gotta beat you up.
Always has been 01. Always has been.
Zero was like, look, man, I'm the first Reiwa Whiter. I gotta do this.
I know, I love that ending.
That ending was pretty fun.
I sort of wish they showed some of the fight, though.
I do.
To be fair, we're dealing with a Lord of Time and Space versus a company president.
Easy remembers, though. Easy remembers.
Also, we know Zero's gonna lose, by the way. It's just so sad, but we know he's gonna get beat down right after the caption close.
Like, one of the funniest parts of that movie. Can we talk about the action of that movie? It gave me some more team ups that I didn't. Like, bro, I got team ups in that movie that I wish I got in the series. To be honest.
Also, I have to say something. I don't know if you guys noticed that movie, but there was this one shot when they were chasing the school. There was this one random robot who jumped down the freaking stair. I remember because it looked so random, and he's overthrown that jump. I laughed my ass off. I'm like, what is he trying to do? He literally he threw himself off the stair. Like, what was that? He missed it by miles.
I want to say this a little bit. I kind of wished that we would have seen a 01 Reiwa, other than the other writer.
Agreed.
I kind of want to see Geo use a 01 form. You know, because we got plenty of movies where they did that, like Ghost and X-Age.
Oh shit! I was gonna use
flowers. Yeah. I kind of want to see Geo use a 01 armor just to see how that would have turned out. You know,
and that's going to be in the movie.
Yeah, right. I was hoping to see that. Like,
I
they gave
expected
us,
it too.
But like they gave us an actual ride watch of 01 for the Ziku driver. So I'm like, maybe, hopefully they'll do this.
They also gave us a Real Soldier ride watch.
Real Soldier, right. You know, like that would have been cool to see for the most part.
I agree.
You know, or something. Like I would have enjoyed to see that, or maybe a Legend Rider form for 01 if that's the case. But that probably would have been a little bit far fetched on how they would have done that.
I did like when Grand Geo showed up. Zero was like, "Yo, who the fuck is these guys?"
I like reacting to that.
Yeah, that was
I love
pretty
that
funny.
reaction.
That
was
you're
too
set
funny
by.
to me.
Get
I
used to it.
said, that's why he ain't gonna know them.
And then we get to see 01 teasing like his final combo if he ever in Climax Fighter because that looked just like it. Look at that.
Let me. Bua and Valkyrie, like yo, Vulcan and Valkyrie had that team up, my boy. Oh my
they just got
goodness.
that. They just got that whole.
I wish they fought
setup
together
right there.
more. I'm gonna be honest. I really
They
do.
had that whole setup.
Yeah, it
But
was
whatever-
one of those things that they only do in the beginning of the series, and then it never really.
Yeah, they got the speed and power combo. That's why I like when they fight together. It's just, it was especially in that scene where they were fighting another 01. They beat his ass.
They destroyed him.
Exactly.
They destroyed him. I'm sorry. I can't say that. That was a sucks right there.
All right.
That was dope.
What? Dude, that's cool. We're having
It
a
was
good
also
fight.
a nice seeing the Heisei Riders one last time. I'll be honest. It was nice seeing them one last time.
God damn it! I want this. I will have this. I hit Blaze.
Other than that, I did
Alright,
enjoy
anyone
the
else
movie.
have story stuff?
What?
The movie was one of my favorite parts of
Oh,
Zero
shit.
One, so I did enjoy that.
Blaze.
Okay.
Rock Hopper versus
Fuck!
Rising
Got
Hopper.
thank you. Yes, that was a good fight too.
Sorry, I just dropped the phone.
That's all.
And then I
really
guess, like timeline wise, he beats Naruto, and then he just kind of vanishes into the ductwork and lurks in the. Where does he go for
goes
like the
back-
next 20 years or 12 years?
He's got
He's
a robot.
the dad.
Oh,
The
he
dad, yeah.
He's a robot. Probably
Yeah,
go
he just
hibernate.
faded away. He just faded away.
Put
Zero
on
had to
rest
beat him
mode.
to put everything back to normal. It's just easier
And
to
nobody
remember.
came across to him?
Nah,
Came across
yes.
his body?
Once,
It's like,
once Zio
they're
beat
done.
him, it essentially everything went back to how it was before the movie started.
Oh, sorry. Another thing I forgot to mention. One thing I liked about
oh,
the
that bit
ending was.
I meant in the old timeline, but yeah, it's
Oh,
continued.
my bad.
I meant in the old timeline. Like,
Oh.
was he?
Well, nah, they just left him there. Nobody.
Oh, yeah. You just like
All
waited and nobody. Whatever. It's relatively inconsequential, but sometimes these little details matter. I swear.
Okay, Silver, what did you want to say?
But I forgot to mention one thing about the about the ending. I kind of liked how they gave most of the characters closure in a way.
Yeah.
That's something I like about
yeah,
that.
no, I do like that.
You know,
They-
giving Hirobi and Jin a little closure, especially with the whole dad and son type of thing. Hirobi actually being able to smile for like, the first time. I thought that was pretty cool.
If you can call it that, but I think he moved like 5" up. Progress.
Well,
progress.
not a big old smile, but like a smirk, like a little smirk. You know where I'm going with
I
this.
get it.
I know,
you
I'm
know
just
the
kidding.
man-
No, he's a type of you don't want to see him smile like an idiot. It's fine. That's our
Right.
thing.
It's just
we have
like,
one
I am one
also enough.
Okay, if I'm being honest, like I didn't too much care if Hirobi smiled or not. I didn't know what they was gonna do with them. But the fact that they did it, I'm like, okay, it's not bad. 'Cause at least he's trying to ease up a little bit. Because Jin was more fun than Hirobi. Jin
was
seemed
an
a little
awesome
more fun.
character.
Jin, you know, like let's not forget that one scene where a random human character tried to attack them, and he just happily smiling and shoots the human character in the head like.
That was in
boom.
episode 1.
Bruh.
Yeah, but it's
That
like
was like, what the fuck?
it's great, but it's like, why though? Like, first of all, they're. Why is it attacking him if he's not a human being at that point?
I don't think he cares. I think the
No,
the bot-
Kim, that's fine, but it attacks him. Why does it attack him?
I'm
If
saying, I
he's-
think the bot is just messed up. They don't know what to do.
Yeah,
going
that
for
But,
Dark.
but they never do anything like that
Dude,
ever
where do you
again.
come from, you knockoff?
Well, it doesn't matter. They're just minions. Who gives a damn?
I give a damn. It's like
like
it's
small
one of
story
these.
bits.
It's one of the many small inconsistencies that add up into a big. So like the Huma Gears. To Dunn's point, they just kind of exist. They like exist in a vacuum. There's no like supporting infrastructure around their existence in the setting. And that's kind of a problem. We never, ever, ever, ever learn how they are charging. How do they
we gotta
recharge their
kill them
batteries?
once each.
They run by sunlight energy.
Okay.
Right. How do they do that after the satellite gets blown up?
They're solar powered. Right?
Nope. There's no the one time we see one quote charging unquote is Izu, and we never see any actual action of charging. And she's sitting inside.
They found the manual appearing the show right there. Look,
They can still charge without Seiya. They charge without Seiya.
Right. How do they charge? What are they charging with? You can't just say, oh, they charge because they're robots. That makes no fucking sense. It's like, what do they eat if you're in a fantasy setting? What do people eat?
Blade, you son of a bitch.
I mean, I get it.
Oh shit!
Like, this stuff's important for your setting in order to take your setting seriously.
Alright, I get it.
World building.
Need more.
World building, and don't get me wrong, like Zero One on paper has everything I could possibly want in a series. But it's all these little things that it just keeps tripping over itself. And I'm just like, why this is stuff that Japan's already done.
Thank you.
Like this isn't new.
Careful! I'm about to die.
Yes, you are.
Come on!
No! Giant sword!
I gotta tell you, I gotta
I get you, bro. It's all good. Like,
so,
I was
like
trying to hold
Bubblegum Crisis is basically
Bubblegum Crisis.
Zero One in that you've got robots you got androids going rogue,
and
they're dealing with it.
Isn't one of those the old anime?
Yeah,
it is an yeah, it's an old anime OAV series.
It's pretty fun.
Alright.
Alright, so Clank, what are your thoughts on Zero One?
I thought it was a good one.
Yeah.
Understand.
This like story as a whole.
Yeah. We're moving after story. We'll move on.
Well, I'm gonna have to say the Dowser arc. I did actually like it's 50-50 with Dowser. I hate him, love him, hate him, love him. But Echo was right. They put him in arc. I completely forgot about that.
See, that's the only reason I didn't like it, because it's like, other than the last part where he takes Aruto's company, and he I get his idea. I get that, because like Frag said, on paper, it's good, but then it's just like, I don't know, they didn't execute it properly for me, so it just felt forgettable.
Dude,
that makes sense.
If that makes sense. Robot.
Okay, I see.
Like,
Alright.
Everything else is fine.
Everyone pick a 3001.
Oh, I'm not picking a 3K. I'll pick what I like.
Just pick one. If we die, that's it.
I like what I like.
Come on,
moving
man.
on to characters.
Alright. Wait, hold on, Frag. Story. You forgot to get Frag's point on the story. What did you like about the story, Frag?
So what I liked about the story, I like very much the setting. The setting is great. Which maybe isn't a story thing.
It goes with it.
But it's like, I'm a sucker for anything that could feasibly be a transhumanism thing. A lot of my positives wind up being around specific characters.
We'll talk about
so
next.
Jin specifically, the way his character is handled is very good. He's one of the very few characters that gets real substantial development throughout the series and not in tiny fits and starts. But we'll talk about that then. So for story, I do agree that I like Thouser's introduction. I thought was fine, even though he still sort of feels like he comes a little bit out of nowhere, but it's kind of justifiable. They don't one of the recurring themes or problems that the series seemed to have is when it would go about introducing an aspect, it would just kind of do it and not really lead in at all. It's like, oh, here's this thing. It's actually been masterminding and very relevant the entire time, but we're not going to talk about it until he's there. At least Thouser gets a steady, oh, okay, there's illusions that he exists. He doesn't come out of a vacuum. So that's I thought that was handled. I thought the ending of the arc where Thouser takes over the company was well handled. Mm-hmm. I actually kind of like it's hidden industries, Manufacturing, thank you. Hidden manufacturing arc, I kind of like that one because it feels like, oh, things now are going to start getting back on track to actually dealing with, like, the fact that the Humagears, want to be emancipated. There's a faction within them that want to be emancipated. And we're dealing with that again, finally. Jin comes back.
Kamen Rider.
Exactly.
Right, Jin comes back.
Jin comes back, all that. So I like aspects of that. It's like midway through that things start really feeling like they're going really wonky. And the basic structure of the hidden arc, or the hidden manufacturing arc, feels like, oh, we're just trying to undo the Thouser arc. And I'm kind of like, well, that's sort of problematic. Why did you have the Thouser?
Like the state of human.
What the hell does that mean?
Yeah, because it's like, oh, here's this Humagear that was just in that arc, and we're just we're gonna make him better again now. And so like related to that, it also kind of generates a few problems for later in the series that are kind of unintended consequences, I guess. In that the show later on sort of forgets that everybody's been like, oh shoot, we don't want Humagears anymore, which is patently ridiculous. If you have a choice between making your brain better and having actual slave labor, you're not gonna go with the brain better.
My super with his super.
Why make your brain better and do the work better yourself when you could have someone else do the work just as well? I think that was silly, but that's I understand why they did all the Thouser stuff, so that's fine. The plot towards the end gets real dodgy because they start doing like character 180s all over the place. And this is like even just before the Corona break.
Yeah.
They're having this issue, so like the pacing goes straight to hell. The recovery of the Aruto losing Izu, I think, was really good. I thought that was very well handled. I thought him going on a murderous rampage was fantastic. That was wonderful. Them then dialing it back and being like, oh, this was all according to Aruto's plan all along, because he wanted Horobi to be more human.
To realize he had a heart, like...
Yeah, it was like,
I get what they were going for, but...
Yeah, and I did appreciate it.
Yeah.
Right, but that's like...
Again, on the murderous rampage, the episode before that. And the episode
right, but the final episode, they're like, the reason he's doing this is entirely because they want he wants Horobi to...
They want to punch their feelings out. That's what happened. Yeah. They gotta punch their feelings out.
Okay. Which I have no problem with. If that's the explanation, I'm fine with.
And it's like it's okay because it's kind of been done. Like that part did not feel special to me. I thought it had been.
But
it was still
not believe.
It was still, I think, for all that, it was reasonably well handled. I don't think there were any problems in execution on that front, other than having to rush. But plot-wise, it's nothing special, but it doesn't do anything terribly wrong.
Okay, I can accept that.
So it's like it doesn't do anything wrong. It just doesn't. I felt like it could have been great when instead it was just kind of like, this is fine. Story-wise.
Don't you like how Blaze can do this against you, but when he's with you on your team, he doesn't do none of this shit?
Ego, you shut up!
That's basically Blaze's entire character. Alright.
He's good at that.
Speaking of characters, we should talk about characters.
That's true. Characters are important.
Alright. Yeah,
I've got no say in this, by the way. You can just twist on me and I got no say in this.
Character, Hiden Naruto.
Alright, fine, we're doing this.
Naruto was a static character throughout most of the show. He got hints of changes, and then they do a change for him, and then they kind of like dial it back a bit. But he didn't really change too much throughout the show. It just like he just progressed a little bit. That's how I feel.
I feel like he didn't really need to for most of it.
Right, because the show didn't ever give him the opportunity. They just kept trying to. Like, he would do something, he'd get proven blatantly wrong from any reasonable perspective, and then the plot would just be like, oh no, he's right after all, even though he's wrong. And I'm just like, That's not how that works, though. Like, the entire Thouser arc, it's like, here's how Humagears are actually... You're not treating them with proper respect. In your company, even. And he's just like, no, but we can be friends!
I will say the
like,
firefighter joint, I did like that firefighter Humagear. He was cool.
He was savage. He was savage.
Yeah,
I like the
was dope.
Humagears. The Humagears were great.
Oh my god.
They had more character than
Yeah,
half
we
the
have
characters.
3,000. That's why.
Oh, okay.
But
Well, they had more character than Naruto.
yes, that's a
Go
problem.
person.
That's like an immense problem. And you can get away with that up to a point, but after
Yeah.
a while, it's like
He
you
had to
start
develop,
realizing
but
he's not really changing much.
It's hints. There's like little
He
hints
doesn't
and
change
tidbits
a
of
lot.
like.
He does like none of his forms really give him like any massive character up until even not really 02. It's not until after that.
Yeah,
His
because
biggest moment is Izu's death.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
At least
Yeah.
with 02, you see Naruto at the beginning of the series couldn't have made 02.
True.
Just straight up.
Yeah.
He has
There's
a
an
very
argument to be made that he didn't make 02 to begin with, but we're not going to go there.
But he wrote the schematics, so
did he though?
he doesn't have experience with Humagears. He was kind of just brought into it because his dad or grandpa did.
Yeah, so those schematics are definitely not from him. He does not have a degree in super science engineering. I think we can agree on
They're
that.
not schematics. He's just scribbling a bunch of like dreams and inspirational stuff on a freaking board.
This is also true, and that's kind of a problem, because then it just gets magicked into existence by Satellite Zeo, which then gets blown up, and everything still works.
well,
And we don't talk about it.
They was destroyed.
Yes, it was destroyed after, but then he's still able to, like, it's, they spend so much of the show being like, oh, Zay is the reason you can transform, and then it's like, well, except for you can't. Except for now it's gone and you can still do all that, so...
Because it's literally became the belt.
When is that ever stated?
You
my
see
God.
the memory card come out of Izu's head. Izu is Zaya. And it becomes a 02 key. Do you not remember that scene?
That did happen.
It's still nonsense, though.
Okay,
like-
but it's still nonsense, but it's still happening.
And Zaya's the reason for
I used the burning finger, whatever shit, and somehow does not kill you?
That's you, Blaze. I thought that was Echo.
If Zaya's the reason for 01 tensioning, and the fact, and she implemented that
even
same
do my
fact that Zaya had into the driver, how does that still not make sense?
I don't know. I don't know what these people are missing, Silver. I don't. It makes sense to me. I don't know what it
Because whatever the same technology that was implemented in Zaya is still implemented inside the driver because Izu has processed it into that driver.
You
say
say
can.
Yeah,
Right, but
it
how are
becomes
you,
built
like-
into the driver itself.
Are we seriously asking for
It's
a logic
never
how Final Form
stated.
come to be?
They
You
never
see it
say...
happen!
No, you don't! You see a magical thing occur, but they do not say Zaya's in this now. They never say that. And now, incidentally...
Okay, they don't
because-
blatantly say Zaya is inside this driver, but
Right.
you can see it happen.
I really can't, though.
Zaya's like a miracle 3D printer. It doesn't need anything, just print it out. I always question, like, how do you get material? Like, does technology mean you can make shit up? Because Izu pull a thing out of the air, like freaking someone call. I'm like, where does that thing come from? How you put it in your ear? It doesn't explain. It's not even like a machinery thing. It just come out like light dust, like fucking fairy or something. I'm like, is this the future of technology? We all become like freaking.
That's how it is, man. We just 3D print everything.
Including your waifu, I guess. Because
Yeah, man.
that's how it
You gotta
works now.
3D
I
print your
mean, if you
waifus.
have to have every little thing explained to you on straight up, I can understand why that might be confusing. But
I mean, like
It's
not
still
that
the
you
you have to have every
single
little
thing.
detail said flat out
It
to your
doesn't
face
have. It
to
doesn't
understand
have
what
to be
happens.
every detail. It just has to
It
be
has to be an important
detail.
one. It's like, it's sort of the linchpin.
Like,
And if it's not stated,
it's when you,
then I can't, it's like, you cannot...
you're gonna make
Like,
something.
it's supposed to be the science series, but it have more magic than freaking wizard for God's sake. Like, things just come out mid-air for no reason whatsoever.
See?
They just say, it's science,
And then they'll try
like,
to explain it, but then it's just like,
Which ties into the whole, the human gears exist in this weird vacuum that doesn't actually have any bearing on reality. Like, so you've got an industrialized slave race, and there's no, like, demonstrated repercussions for the rest of the world that they exist.
yo, Blaze, why don't you do this more often, bro?
Like, they're not talking about how that revolutionizes the industry, like everything in the world.
right type.
They're just like, ooh, the revolutionary human gears, and I'm like, I see no evidence of this. You like, what about all the homeless? To that, and then they forget about it. They're like, oh, we're afraid that this might happen, and I'm like, what do you mean might happen? They're here. Like, human gears are a thing. They're a reality now. Why isn't everybody like? Why isn't there any evidence of trying to deal with this? And like, it's just never shown. They cop out.
I feel like all that was already taken care of. We already have like aims established and all the laws and stuff. Like they've been around for a while at this point.
20 years-ish.
And
we see no evidence of society having to adjust to that because people are still like,
because they already have adjusted to that.
But then you have people being like, oh, they're taking our jobs.
That was like, that one dude
no,
like,
they
yeah,
already
they're taking
did.
our jobs anyway. Then he burns the bandana and throws it on the ground, knocking Easel over. I'm like, why did you knock Easel over though, dude?
It's like this. It just, they exist in a vacuum. And there's no supporting anything for their existence. It's really unfortunate because they could have been great.
If they were supposed to be like brand new, then I would see it. But they're not. They've been around, like you said, for like 20 years or something. They've been around for a very long time.
And society is not dealing with them. They're just like,
They've already integrated.
They haven't though, obviously. Otherwise, the plot wouldn't exist.
That's kind of what the last little bit was, like bringing them in the whole heat and manufacturing thing.
Like there'd be no plot if they were integrated.
Don't illegally dump your human gears, and it's like they're trying to bring them back, and it's just like, dude, it was a whole thing.
All right.
But that being said, Heat and Naruto.
Back to what we were talking about.
He's a non-character, and we're better off without him.
In terms, like, let's give a rating to Heat and Naruto. Okay.
On a scale of decade to Kuga?
No. On a scale of 1 to 10, how do you feel about Heat and Naruto? Make it simple.
He's fine. I give him a 7.
Okay. What about Clank? You were saying something, and then Silver.
He could have been worse. He could have been a lot worse. You could have more development, but he could have been a lot worse.
Hey, you gave him a 7, Clank.
I like him.
I give him a 5.
You reading my mind, boy? Oh man, read my mind. A 5.
What the fuck, Frank, is happening?
All right, Silver. What do you give Otter to?
I give him a 7.
Lobster,
like I said, like Dunn said, I personally agree that he didn't really need a lot of development, but there were some aspects that they could have done with this character. There were a few aspects that they could have done with the character.
I will fully agree they could have done more, but what we got, I feel overall, like
Blaze is just here.
I feel like what they did with him was pretty well. To see such a passionate and upbeat character fall down to darkness the way he did was pretty damn enjoyable to watch. Because that was a really big impact. And then on top of that, he'd still learn along this journey along the way. Like, he still has to struggle with everything. So I give this character a 7 in my opinion. I give him a 7.
Alright,
we got a 5. We got 2 5s and 2 7s. I'd ask Blaze, but Blaze ain't here. Frag, what do you give? Frag, what do you give Naruto?
I put him on the same tier as Decade.
Give me a number.
okay.
I'm back.
Yo, hold on a sec. Yo, we all gotta jump Blaze next match because he done left Clank hanging, and I didn't want to beat up Blaze while Clank was getting jumped. I didn't want him to get jumped.
Come on, man. I have a rice issue. I need to cook it. To be fair,
you could at least said something to him. You just let him die.
It was, it was burning and
you
shit.
let
so I'm
him
like,
die.
Damn, I'll take a look.
God
Fine,
damn
fine. I'll
Blaze.
wait, Clang, are you with me in this match?
No,
No, you're not.
I'm gonna kill you.
Oh, great! Now I get to. I'll let you guys duke it out.
Thank you. I
right.
feel like this is
I'm just
fun.
gonna watch the hilarity that ensues from Clank.
Alright,
beating
you
the
two
shit out
stand
of
back.
me.
Where are you?
So Hidden Naruto is a
Shit.
4, and that's being generous.
All right.
What?
Okay.
Because
Blaze,
3
what
of
do
those
you
points
give
are actually becoming a
Naruto?
murderous rampager. He would have had 4 additional points. He would have been a 5 if they hadn't gone and been like, oh no, he's actually trying to make Horobi have a heart. I think if he'd been just straight up, I want him dead, period, end of story, it would have been more enjoyable for me.
Alright.
Blaze, what about you? What score do you give Hida Naruto as a character?
He has stable you get, like safe you can get when it comes to a rider character, so I give him 5,
Yes,
honestly.
I am from the U.S. Welcome
5?
to
Alright,
the
so we have free
the
fives.
Yeah,
chat.
I mean, again, I say they just playing
Never.
safe with his
Alright.
character.
So what did you say, Blaze? What did you give him?
A 5. They're just
Oh,
playing
okay.
safe with his character. He's not stable you can get, with a whole
Yes, I am
protagonist
from the
being-
U.S.
Okay.
Wait,
Alright, that's fine. Alright.
Alright, next character.
Alright.
Kamen
Alright.
Rider Vulcan. Who are you summoning?
I'm giving this man an 8.5. He put that series on his back.
Bua
Okay.
is honestly probably the best character.
Bua
At least the
put
best
the
writer.
show on his back.
He has some good writing to him, and the way they and the twist they even did with him was really something.
Yes.
Because that
Yo,
whole
that
false
twi-
memory.
That was
yes,
a-
that was
That was
just
an unexpected twist. I like that twist.
that was a really dark and screwed up aspect that they put on this character, because it was like all the stuff that he thought he had or remembered was just a lie, and then he had to just come in terms with reality. But that
Basically,
was
the
really
first thing we learned about him is a lie, it turns out. And it's just...
like all of
Bua
it was
got
a
good
lie.
development. And then even
he had
Okay, so one tiny little thing, Fu is by far the best character in the series. Like, there's no
Noble didn't die.
absolute hands down.
Alright.
But the difficulty I have with the who he thought he was, who he thought he was, wasn't actually what he actually is, etc., which is incompetently worded, but fuck it. It's at the point in his character development where that's revealed, it's completely worthless. It serves no purpose because he's already basically said, you know what, human gears are right. It's just when they start being abused and abusing other people that it's a problem. And so then it's like, at this point, he's already like, human gears are fine.
He's already best character.
So exactly. So like, oh no, everything in my memory was wrong, and I don't actually hate human gears. It's like, yeah, he doesn't hate human gears. He hasn't hated them for like 10 episodes now. Who cares? It's like,
Yeah, but
what's
even
the point? It's
that's
still
not-
like, oh wow, his head was fucked with. That's really cool.
That is a nice
But where
twist.
it's like, oh no, you're actually just a super boring dude. Is
But
like,
to piggyback off of that, all that character development that happened before that was still freaking great.
oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh, agreed.
No doubt. Like, you will not hear me speaking slander of Fu. He's by far the best character in the show. Followed up by
Jin.
damn Skippy.
Alright.
Characters that actually have development in
Wait,
Zero
are we gonna
One.
rate? Are we gonna? Everyone gonna rate Tua? Or
Yeah,
no?
let's rate Fu.
My rating you next.
I give him a 9. I feel.
I
the only
gave-
reason
I gave him an
the only reason I
8.5.
don't give him a 10 is because I feel like he could have done a little bit more in the last.
Yeah, they leave him out. Part of it's justified because his
So
driver's
I'll
been
give him
busted,
a
but
9.
part of it's like, you could have at least had his involvement. He didn't have to be just there.
And then,
9,
and then at
8.5
the
from
end,
Echo.
his
What about everyone
ending
else?
line in the last episode, that is main character material.
I'm a common rider.
He's like, he's
It's
like,
like,
get down,
yes.
dude, break the windows, like rip the door off.
He doesn't even like struggle with the door. He just rips the door right off. And the person's like, he's like, get out of the car. And they're like, okay. And I'm like, I would too. I'm scared of this man.
He's
Go
like, I
Fu!
protect everything. I am a commoner, and I was like, yeah, fool.
Oh my god, he was
Alright.
great, and he's
So-
consistently great. I felt like maybe they could have done more with him as a foil to Aruto, but then like getting over it in the sense that, like, they start off that way where it's like, oh, you know, he doesn't like the human gears and
Right.
That's bad, but then they just kind of, part of it's due to him getting over it, part of it's like they sort of forget, but I think it would have been more fun to have him slightly more antagonistic for a little longer, so that they could have more moments where it's like, is he really laughing at Aruto's joke?
Oh no!
Like there are a couple, but they're so precious few, and it took me like 2 episodes to realize, oh, that's supposed to be him acting out suppressed laughter, not him like having an allergic reaction. Because they'd showed like near allergic reactions already, and I'm like, oh, he's trying not to laugh. Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
I liked that. I thought that was classy.
So
I thought that was a
Silver,
nice thing to do.
I'm gonna move to you and Clank, and then go to Blaze, and we'll
Alright,
get
just
y'all
numbers.
scores.
Ranking. Yep.
Okay, so
Oh,
my bad.
numbers, right, yeah.
Oh.
I'll get mine in a minute.
All right, yeah,
Okay.
go ahead.
Okay, so for me, I'm definitely giving
9.
for an 8. Okay, I'm giving him an 8.5. I'm gonna give this man an 8.5.
8.5.
We're in agreement. I like this. 8.5.
Yeah, because
My main
I
unit,
like this guy. I respect the hell out of Vulcan. He is definitely up there. He's definitely up there for me as one of my personal favorite second writers. Like he's definitely up there for me and one of the most badass second writers, in my opinion. You know, the only thing, but there are just a few aspects that I wish they could have explored with him. You know, especially in terms of, and mostly in digging in terms of his past a little bit more. I kind of wish they went there a little bit. Instead of just not explaining this and just saying, oh, he lived such a boring life. Like, I just kind of wish they went a little bit further. Like, okay, what was his family like? What was this person like? You know, that's it.
Yeah.
But overall, he was still written pretty damn good. I enjoyed it. And, you know, and he had a pretty good amount of badass forms. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. Like the stuff they gave him was pretty damn good.
The Rampage Gatling
God,
initial fight
Rampage.
against
He bodied her,
against
bro.
against
oh,
Geek.
God.
Oh my god.
Folded.
She got folded like an omelet, bro. It was so bad.
Alright.
Picked her ass up and boop. That's it. It was
Bro,
over.
That was so unnecessary, but it had to be done.
Alright. Who else wants to give a rank?
Oh, I'm with Dunn. I gotta give him a 9. He'd have another point if he had more relevance in the end, but but he'd have an 11
Well,
because
you might
of
not
that
get win
final
to free
scene.
cinema.
That final scene was great.
Just wait for free
Alright.
cinema.
Blank Blaze.
I give him, honestly, I do give him a 10. He was
Oh, for 10. Alright.
yeah,
Oh, we
I
got
give
a
him
10. See, that's how you know the secondary writer carried that show.
Blank, what about you? The last one.
I'm definitely giving Vulcan a 10.
Two
All right,
10.
2
There you
tens.
go, Vulcan. There you go. Let's get it.
Alright. That's
2
Vulcan.
tens.
Moving on to Yaiba Yua. Kamen Rider Valkyrie.
I give her an 8. I give her an 8.
I give her a
They-
9 for obligatory.
I give her an 8.
Okay.
They did her character so dirty.
Yeah,
She's
that's the
another
only reason
character-
why I give
she's
her
a-
an 8.
She's another character who is stuck in a rut the entire show. I'm like, I know they can do something more with this character. And they're just like,
kinda wish
oh,
they fleshed out.
I'm a 2. I don't know about being a 2. I'm a 2.
Like, that whole thing was great, but then it's like, what does Bowser have on you, woman? That's what I was saying the whole dark. Like,
yeah.
what does she have
So
on
the
you?
whole,
Pay a lunch or something.
she's got a brain chip thing. That's another element that should have been introduced at least 3 to 5 episodes earlier than it was. Because it's like, give us a reason for this character's actions. Any. And they're just
You,
like,
you,
we're gonna forget about it. We're gonna forget about it.
Well, they did. You just said they brought it in. They
Yeah,
just-
but he said
They just did it super late. They're like, let's
Yeah.
defer judgment
Alright.
on. Let's like completely defer doing this.
because I was so upset with you and watching it. Like, yo, girl, what are you doing? What has he
But
got
when
on
she
you?
finally got over that,
When she got, that was a good moment for her.
that is honestly one of the best moments I think in the series. Is
Oh,
Besides Rampage
her
Vulcan
punching
beating the
Bowser
shit.
in the face.
She said, "This is my resignation."
Just that right there.
Yes.
That was really. I mean, Yaiba at the start, they kind of like gave her like, oh, what she's actually doing, kind of thing.
Oh,
Like,
did I just kill my
Like,
ally?
I'll say Yaba like
Yes,
at the very start of her debut.
I
She
didn't
was the
see
person. She was just like one of those more strict characters. Like everything must have to be followed by the book in a way, and then and it's like she just has to obey all the commands and all that was just given to her. That's it. Like she didn't have to worry. Like she just she was just like one of those characters that was like, I must follow this, so that way I won't have to worry about any consequences or none of that. Like I must follow this because I've been told to do it. That's it. Like you know. And then on the other hand, Bua, he didn't give a damn about the rules. He didn't give a damn. So
that's what
makes
makes
him
him
great.
Yeah, and it was a well-handled dichotomy, but I felt like Fua got all the development, and then Yaiba's just kind of there. We know nothing about her background.
Yeah, she didn't. Unfortunately, she didn't really get any development until that moment.
Yeah.
Against
And it was
but after
great.
that, she was pretty good.
Yeah,
After that, I really liked it.
She felt she had the freedom. She was liberated.
Yeah.
And of course, that was one of the recurring themes of the show was liberation. But
That didn't work out.
like they kind of dance around it a lot because they don't really want to talk about slavery and the fact that the human gears are slaves.
All right. Anyway, I will give you a 8. I feel.
All right,
At least
we're in agreement.
I'm a little bit higher. I think I give her an 8, mostly for her involvement in the latter half of the series.
Yeah, I gave her an 8.
I have to give her an 8. She would be a perfect 10 because she's fine. Little woman with the freckles across both cheeks, the one little mole, the nice stern attitude, the pantsuit.
The pantsuit.
Okay.
The pantsuit.
I don't know. I think those.
I ain't gonna lie, when she was in B form and she did the little leg joint.
She have no characteristics, so sad.
My guys on the same.
Like the only reason I deduct, we're perfectly on topic. The only reason I deduct any points is because her character was stuck in like character development limbo hell for.
Oh
forever.
yeah, I know about all
I
that.
agree with that.
Otherwise, you know,
match,
she'd be a perfect 10.
Just like random
Probably
screwing
safe,
around with friends.
Because every time she's really doing something, even if it's not entirely of her own will, she's doing it with a certain degree of panache. You could always sense her reticence. That was always well done. It's just she had no agency, and it felt like she couldn't realize she didn't have any until the plot said, "Oh, you need to realize now that you have no agency." It's a little late, but okay.
All right. Anyone else want to rank?
Blaze.
I give her a 9, mainly because she's one of the. Okay,
fine,
a lot
I
of
get
people
it.
make her 6. If it, I don't know, it was 6 or like 7 at best. But then the additional 2 was because I realized, holy crap, she's a female writer who doesn't get mom drop off the building or like kill instantly because of that, and actually
she didn't die,
a
which was
good
great.
moment for her. So I'm like, you know what, give you another 2 because I don't know if I got a chance to like this again. The next female rider might, for all we know, get blow up in the goddamn like pipe bomb or something.
Oh,
Jesus.
Can we talk about Ark as a character?
We will get there.
We'll get to him. We'll get to him.
Oh,
Yeah,
because this is important. This is important.
We will get to him. Don't worry.
Okay.
You'll be the
Yeah,
first one to
Cactus?
talk when he talks to Ark.
Okay. Anyone else ranking Yaiba? We're all good.
So
Okay.
did you rank Iva?
No, I didn't rank her yet.
Alright.
Okay, so at first I was thinking 7, but I'm gonna bring it up to an 8.
Yeah, teammate.
I'm gonna bring her up to an 8 because I've been saying this from the John episode I joined this group. I respect her. I respect her a lot as a female writer. Because like I said, because we don't have a lot of female writers, and out of all the ones that we've gotten, there's her, and then there's freaking Femme from Ryuki. That's it. Those are the only female writers I like. Poppy was cool. She was just fun. But
He's
she
the first
wasn't
one that we
all-
got at like the beginning of the series.
That did
Yeah,
die.
like Femme was
Yeah,
our
she's
first
there
female
more or
writer.
less since word go.
Yeah, she is.
She's there before most second strings get introduced. She was there well before episode 15.
Hear that.
So yeah, I definitely give her hella props, especially for her as a character in this series in general. Like I know she ain't do a whole bunch of major shit, but she still did enough to the point where she was like a tad bit relevant, you know. And that's in turn I feel like because Poppy, she didn't really have that much relevancy as a female writer, but just as a goofy ass character. That's basically
that's
what
how she was
Poppy
for most.
did for
Yeah.
X-Men.
I will keep that in mind. So.
Kind of the same with Tsukuyomi.
You know, and it's,
Where she shows up, I'm going to be relevant at the end, and then she gets freaking roundhouse.
That was just flopness. That was just flopness to me.
Well,
That's it.
God, it was so upsetting.
Zio was full of sloppy writing, but I had fun watching it. So
Yeah, it was
I kinda
fun,
forgive
but
it.
still, like with Tsukiyomi as a writer, that was just horrible for me. And then she
Alright,
even
let's-
do
let's-
she when she transformed.
got
Let's
rolled.
let's
All
Alright,
she
turning
did
back on the
was
track.
just
bring
bend
it
the
back
knee.
to 0-1.
I'm
Bring
gonna
it back to
transform
0-1.
and then bend the knee to my brother. I'm gonna serve
Alright.
you.
Oh, that was a trick, but it didn't work. But let's bring it back to
It still
0-1.
sucked. It still sucked.
Alright, back to
Bring it back to
0-1. Next
0-1.
character on the list.
What makes Wa so confident with his power? In that I'm asked, he like, great, you have the loyal family power, but then you're not.
Please, moving on.
We're going Burp Blues. We're going Burp.
Alright, Jin! Kamen Rider Jin!
9.
Okay.
9. Actually, no. Give him a 10. I give him a 10. I like this character all the way through. I didn't hate him.
You know what? He was consistent. My only gripe with Jin is how we don't get an explanation for how he came back until.
I
like,
just figured Art. I just assumed Art did it, but you know.
I'm not saying
Yeah.
because
I saw a fairy did it.
But it's
He said a
it's
fairy
Zaya.
did it.
It's Zaya at this point. I'm like, okay. I really wish we got any development whatsoever of that guy, the chief, whatever his name was. I don't even know. The
You mean
actual
that
head of
in
Zaya.
like the last 3 episodes?
Yeah, what was even his name? I don't even remember.
I remember
I
his
think we
last name
mentioned
was
it once.
Williamson.
I didn't
Williamson.
That's right, it was Williamson. But
I'm
it's
gonna be
like we
honest.
learn nothing about him. And I'm
be honest, I
like,
didn't see
he
the movie.
seems
What
like he'd be
happened?
kind
What
of
happened,
important.
Anyway, we're talking about Jin.
I give Jin a
him-
10. I give him a 10.
There's kind of like 2 different Jins. There's like you mentioned
Yes,
the
I know.
early arc Jin before he died, and then there's post Jin.
Post Jin,
Which is why he's great as a single character, because he's the one who shows the most development other than Fua the entire series.
That's
Is
why
he
I think
goes and even like if his complete turnaround hadn't been presaged by like 1 or 2 like moments where he's like, I don't know if we're doing the right thing here, Horobe. Like, what's this arc thing all about? Why are we listening to this thing? I thought we were about freedom, right? Like, then I'd be like, oh, he's just yet another case of a character 180 in 0-1, because there's like 4 of them. But,
I do like seeing Jin's growth because he like starts as a child.
He's so good.
He's a child at the start, and then you see him become like an adult, or at least a young adult.
Yeah. Like, just basically in a more mature sense. That's it. Like,
Yeah, he
a very
matured up.
mature-
And Hirobi's death, the first Hirobi's death, and then his subsequent fight with Aruto, Hyper Assault,
Shining Assault.
yeah, Shining Assault. There you go. I like that fight. That was a good fight. Good moment for Hirobi. I mean, Jin. God, I probably give him. I really have no complaints. I give him a 10. So.
Yeah, he deserves it.
I have no complaints with Jin.
What are you getting?
Okay. I feel this.
So, alright, so what about the rest of you guys? What are y'all doing?
Well,
I,
like it. I'm on the 10 bandwagon, man. I'm gonna say it too. Give him a 10. You know, because literally, because I didn't hate Jin. I could not hate this character. I couldn't.
Jin and Fua carried that show, boy. They carried it.
Jin,
Put it on their back. Like, yo. They said,
Okay,
Aruto, I'm gonna let you finish.
Cue the coffin song. They carried it on their shoulders.
They
Now,
did a good job, and you were trying to help.
The Jin throughout his very first appearance made me laugh. It's like I said, with that moment when he shot the human, that made me laugh.
That made me go, this
It was
is
such
crazy.
a great scene.
You know,
That
that
dude
was
crazy.
and just seeing how he was just like a little ass child in like a grown ass man body. It was just like, okay, this is kind of fun. But seeing him come back and mature, I loved that a lot more. It just had it. It was there.
Yes,
You know,
sir.
and as he got older, he started to realize a whole bunch of stuff and how, especially in terms of ideals for Aruto and Hirobi, you know, like he became that whole little.
Yeah, like
I want to say like I kind of want to say like an anchor in between or something. You know,
Yeah,
he's
he
just
sort
like,
of connects the two factions because
Right.
he's like the only person on Aruto's side at that point.
you know, because he's
Like even before Fua is, I think,
Because, like,
because
even
Fua
when-
kind of vanishes from the plot for a few episodes.
right,
Yeah.
right. Because even when Hirobi killed Izu, that's where Jenna was like, that's where Jenna was just all like, think about what the hell you're doing for a second, because you're the one that's
Yeah,
talking
right.
about Because you're the one talking about how you want to fight for human gears, but then you end up killing one in the end. Like, think about what you're doing for the whole human gear community. Then,
yeah, that's a really good moment for Jin right there.
Yeah.
So, because it's like, if you're gonna kill this human gear, what if you kill more human gears in the future? At that point, you're hypocrite. You're being a hypocrite of your own ideal, of your own little dream.
Yeah.
Because at this point, you're talking about humans being horrible. You're starting to be as bad. Maybe even worse. So that was
practice what you preach.
Exactly.
And then he starts doing the whole metal cluster hopper, and he just magically dehensions them, which I felt like was a cop out. I think they could have tried to do something more interesting with that, like, oh, he's got to appeal to their better reason and make them overcome it on their own.
Right. And then on top of that, I liked his whole first rebellion of the arc, because he started to disbelieve the arc's ways and all that stuff. That was another thing I started to like as well. Like he didn't just straight up follow. He
didn't really follow either of them. He
didn't follow at all. Like at first he was supporting a whole arc detail, but after he started to notice Arc's methods, that's where Jin grew even more of a brain. Like, okay, Arc, I'm not feeling this guy. I'm not feeling the Arc right now. He's up to some shady shit. I'm not feeling it. I don't want this to happen no more. We got to do something. So yeah, I respect Jin. I liked him. So yeah, I'll give him a 10. All
right, cool. Moving on.
Everyone ranked Jin?
9.
Okay.
Only thing that keeps him from being a 10 for me is that they take until the last episode to explain where the hell he comes from for his revival. It's just you need, without any allusion to that either. Like, there's no hint that it's Zaya the entire time. No hint. If there'd been a hint, it'd be one thing, but it never really happens. So,
well, your only hint is that the flashlight or the Zaya technology, but you wouldn't really know that unless you looked at other stuff. They don't mention it, so
yeah, this is the problem. The same thing kind of is Naki. Like, Naki, if you didn't watch Project Thouser episode 1, she comes out
we'll
of
talk about
absolutely
Naki in a little bit. Next up, Hirobi. No,
Hirobi, 7.
Yes.
He's yet another kind of non-character. He
7,
actually has some growth, though.
I give him a 7, only because of that whole final conflict. Otherwise, I would have gave him a 6.
Yeah,
that's how I feel.
I'll give him an 8. I'll give Hirobi an 8.
Fair enough.
An 8 is fair.
Clank Blaze, what do you give him?
Yeah. I give him a 7.
Alright.
I'm gonna go with 7.5. Just 7.5. He could have been an 8, but my thing is that with his development,
you have Jack.
Is that his development didn't really show as much until towards the end.
That's why.
Yeah.
That was it, because his development wasn't there at the start. Jen ended up getting way more development than him, to the point where
That's
Hirobi
what made
was
Jen great.
Yeah, because like Hirobi, he was the whole leader of the whole Messable Jinrai thing, and then Jen came back, and then it was like, I think Jen kind of won the spotlight.
Both of them died
Hirobi
in that first arc. Both of them died.
Yeah.
And then they both came back. Jin was like, it completely actually had some growth and development, and Hirobi was just still Hirobi.
That's how I felt. Like when those two came back as characters.
But his ending development at the very end there,
it was pretty.
That kind of pushed
real.
him to a 7.
It makes up for some. I definitely,
and
they did it. And unlike unlike Thouser and his dog, they actually allude to it. It's like there's instances where he's showing like, I don't know about all this.
Yeah, so with Hirobi, I give him that. I give him 7.5 just mostly because of it. His development was a little bit too. His development was a little bit too late. That was it. That was it for me. Like they could have done a little bit more with him, but overall he was okay. He was okay.
Blaze, what about you? Before we move on.
Hirobi?
Yeah.
Yes.
Shoot, I've seen him before, like gang, so I'm giving him like 7, I guess, because I see him before and better. He's not bad himself, so
Okay.
You know,
get that.
yeah,
That's fine. That's
Like,
fair.
I think that's something that I think I should point out, is I feel like a lot of the actual actors are pretty good actors.
Yeah.
But the
Oh, no,
characters
acting-
and scripts that they've been given in many instances, particularly Aruto, are just like, this is so beneath you.
Yeah.
I know
Yeah,
you
no,
can.
all the
I know
actors
you're a good
put on a
actor.
great show.
I know you're a good actor, but the material they
talking
keep giving you is just like,
Liz.
All right.
And wow, okay.
All right. Next up,
no.
let's go. You want to go Bowser next, or?
Bowser gets a 5.
All right, we'll go Bowser next.
Bowser
I need
gets a straight up
help.
5.
Thank you.
He's a villain, and that's all he is. And that BS redemption, okay?
That-
no.
okay.
Why would I
No.
say
So the
Hobie,
Bowser
but
dog
10
arc.
times for Bowser?
Bowser gets a 5.
yeah. So
He didn't
Horobi,
see-
I'm willing to give like a 6.57.
But Bowser,
mostly
nah,
because he is
doesn't
static,
deserve
but Bowser, I almost put on the same level as Aruto. It's just like, why does he even exist?
Like
Other than to be a villain.
the only good thing about his
Kaiser is
turnaround was
more-
no one not
Yes.
like everybody going, look, dude, you did a lot of shitty shit. We're not gonna be buddy with you like that. No, we're not. And that's the only thing I liked about that. Otherwise, Bowser, nah, he get a 5 because it's just like, nah, you're
I
a
think
villain,
that's
and
one
that's
thing
all
you'd
you
give
are.
him,
I
right?
get it.
They
His
don't
actor's
take
cool
redemption
though.
that
His
easily.
actor's cool though, but
They
like,
don't just spit like, you know, forgive.
I actually quite like Villain Bowser. At least at the beginning, because when he came in, he was intimidating, but he had this like air of respect about him.
Yeah.
Like,
I get that.
in that first competition, the one
He's a
dude
businessman.
cheats. The one dude
He's a
cheats, and he's like, "No, we're
businessman."
gonna redo the competition."
Yeah.
But then they kind of lose that. They lose that for the later competitions.
Yeah,
And that annoys me.
because there's that's partly justifiable only because it's like at that point there's the possibility, however remote, that he might lose.
Right.
But it's still like,
why are you stopping me, bro?
I liked him better when he was like, "No, we're gonna win clean so that we can win clean."
Right.
Oh my
And then
god.
he just kinda loses that when
exactly.
he
It just
actually might lose.
Shit.
But I liked Evil Bowser. I thought he was a good like driving force for everything. He was antagonistic enough. He felt like a good rival to Aruto.
I'm glad he didn't get another
And
phone.
as for the redemption, I figured, I called that they were gonna redeem him somehow.
I mean, you can kind of see redemption occurring, but it's like the
Just
way
because-
they redeem him.
Wait,
though.
what happened? You
got
saw? Oh wait,
shot.
who shoot me?
You got shot because he got out of my super.
Yeah, I get it. It comes out of nowhere. I understand.
Hey, what up,
this.
Cole?
But I don't know. I just like the little Robo Dog. So
Yeah, the dog is fine.
Robo is cute and all. I'm just like looking at him like, what evils do you possess? If your name is Thouser, you probably have killed small children and have hidden the bodies in the walls. I don't trust it, man. I don't trust
I'm
it
with
at
it.
all.
I'm with it. Don't trust that.
and he also
that
he
thing
channels
is-
his
What do you
inner
mean, Frank?
when he's doing during that scene. I mentioned that when I was watching it with Silver. He really channels his inner Dan Kuroto during that arc.
They
during that little
tried
bit
so
there.
hard to do that.
They,
I'm just
did.
like,
They wanted him to be Dan
I almost
Kuroto
forgot.
so bad.
that was also pissed me off. I'm like, no, dude. There can only be one Dan, and it ain't you.
All right, but honest, I'm gonna be a little. Maybe this is a little generous, but I'm giving him a 7.
All right, that's
That might be a
fine.
little generous, but I'm giving him a 7.
That's fair. That's fair. Because I want to move on to the seats and stuff. So let's, who's our last character?
Yeah.
Oh, Arc.
we
gotta talk
yeah,
about
we
the
need
Arc.
to talk Arc.
Fuck
We're
Arc.
not going to talk Izu because Izu is
Izu's
Izu.
adorable, and Izu's adorable.
Izu's Izu. We'll leave it at that. Arc,
She's
though, and this is important, and I think it's very relevant. Arc
Guys, and-
is, and I'm not talking about the Kamen Rider Arc. I'm talking Arc as in the satellite.
Yeah.
Is more of a
Is that even
Kamen
a
Rider.
character?
I think
Is
I
more of a Kamen Rider than any of the riders in the series for one simple, basic reason.
What's that?
it's been trapped in the water. It fell into the
I
water.
knew he was
and
gonna
it's getting
make this
stronger. And it's gonna get stronger. The whole time it's sitting in the water. It's like, I'm gonna be big.
Who
I'm
shot
gonna be
me?
bad. And you gonna die.
I was gonna get the kill.
Frack, do you finish Spirit yet?
Yeah, Spirits was great. I haven't read Shin yet.
Stronger
but
arm was freaking
Look,
badass.
it's
Let's
too bad-
finish.
it's
Let's
too
finish
bad
the zero.
about it.
Let's finish the
It's
zero
too bad
one
about the
retrospective.
ending being a total cock block, but
I mean, they need Shin Spirit, but dude, Stronger
Alright.
arm was hardcore, man.
Okay. As for the arc, I guess that's the next character we're talking about.
Yeah.
I thought he was a good. I thought he would have been a good final villain. He
rather
has this
just-
intimidating aura about him. He's not even. He doesn't even look human. He's just like a floating piece. He's like a floating
Skynet.
pile of mana machines.
What
Fuck
did you
the
call
arc. We're talking about the arc.
Skynet.
Alright.
Yo, Skynet, I'm with it. I'm with it.
well, I mean, yeah, it's an
Skynet
evil
is
AI
better.
in the traditional sense, but
Skynet is better.
Arc just kind of seems like, oh, guy made them learn about evil, and I'm like, but they would have totally done that. It didn't need help.
Yeah.
It did not need any help.
But nah, fuck the arc. Fuck the arc.
Fuck Azu, more like, why does she even exist?
Are they playing by the same actress? I think so.
Yeah, it is. It's
Yeah, they
Yes,
are.
it
They
is.
just give her longer hair.
I'm telling you, they're gonna deal with it in the movie, and that's what sucks the most.
Yeah.
Why?
A
My
lot
soul
of- a
shall
lot- I feel like a
screw
lot
you,
of
David
The arc
Frack.
is 7 as well.
You're
I'm just
welcome,
gonna give you
dude.
arc is 7.
Alright,
Okay.
that's fair enough. I give it a 3.
I liked him as a villain. He was intimidating. I liked his plans and whatnot.
Excuse me.
You heard me.
Excuse me, Echo. Excuse me.
You heard
His
me.
calculations and all that. I mean, he didn't. I didn't need deep character motivations. He wanted to exterminate humanity, and that was it.
Yeah.
What the
I think he
hell?
would have liked,
I
I
hit.
don't know,
What?
more of
I
an
hit
actual
first.
confrontation between
That's whack.
between Ark and
How dare
Zaya,
you.
but as
Fuck
opposed
my
to
ass.
Ark goes up to Zaya and wins, and then Zaya is blown up, and then massive plot holes as a result of Zaya being blown up, but we don't talk about those.
Bro, they're gonna deal with all this in the movie, and it's gonna be
So
rushed through.
one
'cause it's an hour and a half.
it's slightly tangential. So a big problem with the final episode is like, you know how during the entire Horobi v Aruto fight you've got like the Humagear uprising, and then
happened to
then the Horobi Aruto fight ends,
So does the uprising.
and we don't talk about what happened to the uprising.
I bet you they're gonna bring it up during
I'm
the
just
movie.
like, this is a problem. Why is this not being discussed? It's like,
Because
that's
they
kind of
rushed through
central.
it, and they're gonna bring it up during the movie, and then it's like, after the whole thing with no, didn't they talk about it for like a quick second and say everything's over now? So
yeah,
back to
and
normal.
it's even worse.
That's whack. That was whack.
All right. So,
Okay.
who else wants to rate? Who else wants to rate the arc?
Okay, first of all, y'all skipped me in the last rating. I'm gonna just put that
So-
out there.
Oh,
Oh, one last
I'm
thing
sorry,
from Frag on Ark.
Okay, y'all just
What I
flat out skipped me on the last rating.
really want to happen, and I don't think will,
oh, it's good
is-
rank then. I'm sorry, dude.
is that they make Ark into
I'm
a
gonna wait.
recurring Shocker villain for Reiwa.
That would be nice.
So basically
Because
make
they
him like
kinda-
Shocker.
That would be nice because of how they set it up. Like, no matter wherever their malice is, Arc will come back or something like that.
I
That
thought
would
I'd
be
win
nice.
that one because
That would be
I think
I
we just
think-
killed them at the same time.
Like, I think that would be great. I mean, I prefer it being in some of the mainline series, and even if it just like winds up being the final boss of, say, Saber, and then
That'd
whatever
be-
series comes after, as you know, it's a different name. Oh, it's not Arc anymore, but it's definitely Arc.
Right.
You know, which is basically what happens throughout Showa.
It'll be-
It's
it'll
like,
be the
throughout
Foundation
Showa.
X.
It's always like Shockers at the root of it all.
It'll
Right.
be the
And
Foundation
even
X
if
of
it's Kamen
Reiwa.
Rider's spirits, it's like it's been Shocker all along, always
Which one
was.
is Badan now?
Okay.
Yeah, they're
Anyway,
fat but they're
Silver.
still Shocker. So,
So, yeah,
It's
Silver,
shocked to actually
go ahead.
follow them,
Let's-
isn't it?
Let Silver go ahead.
Let's let Silver talk, guys. Come on.
Let's get him.
Okay, go ahead, Shiva.
Yeah,
Okay. Thank you.
So
Okay,
you
now
finish
due
it.
to the previous rating on Thouser, I gave him a 6.5 in my
okay.
opinion because number one, he kind of gave me a little bit of a from this fight. From X8, he kind of gave me a little bit of that kind of vibe. It might be just me.
I think that was the intention.
I can kind of see it.
I can.
Just a little bit. Not
I
by
guess
a whole
Evil
lot,
CEO,
not by a
I
whole
guess,
lot,
sure.
just a little bit.
I can,
the whole
but it's not as a
CEO
compliment. I did not like Kronos. I thought he just
Okay.
Fair enough.
Cronus wasn't all whatever. I was just saying, like, that's the kind of vibe that he kind of gave me a little bit. But overall, I respected Bowser. I enjoy his design, his
We have
camera
to win.
design. You know, and like, 'cause he did have that whole Outermost stage little respectable thing. That's an evil villain. Well, I really respect
I like
that.
that he had a spear.
Now, if
I
they
like.
wanted to redeem him, that redemption should have been a tad bit longer, in a way.
Yeah, it should have been more.
You get close to me, you wing bastard. I'll show you.
That could have been better. So, you know, but overall, I give him 6.5. You know, he's not a horrible character, but he just could have been a tad bit better. But he was a fucking force to be reckoned with when he was a villain.
And then they started beating his ass once they got upgraded. Sorry, man.
You know, shoot, he took a lot. Like as soon as everyone got strong, he just took a lot of L's. It was just to the point, like,
That kind of happens a lot.
Yeah, but that's all. And with Ark, how the fuck will I rate Ark? Maybe.
Yeah.
Nice.
You as soon as I did my super, you started
I'm
spinning.
sorry, it's
and
kind of
hitting.
hard for me to rate
But
Ark
it's
right now.
fine
It's kind of hard for me to rate him.
So fair play.
You know, but I'll give him a 7.5. I'll give him a 7.5
We can't lose again, Clint.
because Ark was a big ass threat. I'm not gonna lie. The way how they presented Ark was badass.
It was very badass.
Okay, the theme song, the theme song that they gave him at the very start, that was sweet. But then Arc 1, bruh, I'm like, ooh, like that was a really evil, dramatic vibe for that role and for this character. It was really amazing. You know,
It doesn't have any weapon at all, by the way.
It had that whole presence of evil right there. Like as soon as you hear that song, it gives you that whole evil presence of this person and what this and what this threat can do to somebody. So I really thought that was really sweet. So I'll give Ark a 7.5.
All right. And with that, I think there's the only two writers we haven't rated yet are Raiden and Naki. I feel like we can just rate both.
Well, I don't know.
I give him.
Are they right?
I mean,
they had
Raiden's a
writers.
non-entity, and Naki is
right,
like.
Naki was.
I don't really think
They
they
were-
For the
rated
purposes
too
of this
much.
show, Naki comes out of absolutely nowhere. Like,
But
if you
I
didn't watch
didn't
Project
enjoy Naki.
Bowser, like I liked her as a character. I liked what she represented for Fua,
is it a
but
she
that was
though?
kind.
It's
Naki.
I
Yes.
think the
I think Naki's a
I mean,
man.
she's androgynous, and it's kind of, but it's
no,
definitely
the
it's a
act,
she.
the actor.
It's an actress. That is a woman, right?
It is a woman.
I don't freaking
I
know.
don't.
That was a close one.
I don't remember
Naki is
this.
supposed to be the first non-binary.
What?
Oh,
I was
okay,
in the
so I
middle
don't.
of it. Why did I?
According to whom and where?
Naki-
Source, please.
Naki themselves, you know, the act.
I think
the
like
act-
Twitter or something.
Really?
Yeah, it's a, he's
they
a
say.
he.
I remember this.
Huh.
It's been a while since Basha.
I'm
I'm
so
this confused
sorry
with my
for
gender.
messing up the pronoun.
Basha was always a kid.
I'm sorry for messing up. The
I mean, yeah, but
I think
I don't know what the whole the
they-
skirts, quote unquote, didn't help. I was like,
Either-
what is skirt?
I'll look it up.
no, Basha
But,
from Kiva.
Yeah,
You know
what's
okay,
skirt?
fine. Before that, thanks to the flashback and all that. No, fudge. Then when he in the castle, what did he wear? Someone remind me. I remember the other two
It
wear butler
don't
uniform.
matter, please.
I don't know. It's been a while.
But shoot. Well, let's bring it back to 0-1 and finish off a little retrospective review here.
Yeah.
Where are we on now?
As for me, Raiden and Naki, they're fine. They serve their purpose as being
I give
a
them a
member.
six.
I give them both
that's-
fives.
I
I'll give Naki a 6 and Raiden a 5.
Same. I'm with that. They did their job.
I'm gonna agree with that. Because Naki, I thought Naki was alright. You
They
know,
did
like I
have
said,
some
like,
good moments at the
they
very
were-
end, though.
Yeah, that
Right,
moment
like,
with
they
Fu
weren't
at the end
big,
was
they
pretty
weren't
good.
big
Raiden like
characters.
trying to reason with Hirobi at the very end there. That was at least
Right.
they at least tried
Yeah.
to give them something to do.
Right, and
So
with Nike, I can see why like he will be part of Team Etsubo Jinrai because he actually had a history with Jin and Horobi. But with the other guy, I forgot his name. Raiden. Yeah.
yeah,
So
Fred.
I
I
respected
just feel
him.
bad for Raiden.
Yeah.
Honestly.
like, Yeah, the only thing about Raiden is I respected him as a human gear because he didn't take. Mostly because mostly because Raiden didn't take no shit. Because he didn't really take no shit.
Oh yeah.
That was like one of my reasons for respecting him.
Yeah.
Yes, especially when they tried to hack him, and he was just like,
nah.
"Oh, y'all think y'all gonna hack me that easily? Fuck you!" Like I messed with that. I thought that was sweet on Raiden's part. You know, and that was it. But so, it just caught me off guard that they just brought it back the way they did. You know, I never thought I would see that. You know,
Right.
I didn't hate it. Not, you know, it was just so unexpected. It was just so unexpected.
Dude,
You know. But
that was a fair fight. Why you defeated?
So yeah, I would give him a 5. Basically the same rating that done the Echo City. I'll give him that same rating.
Okay, cool.
Him and Nike. Mostly because I respect Nike a little bit more, especially
What happened?
the whole
You got
bond that he
smacked.
had with
I
You got
lost.
splat. You were locked down like that
Those two
entire
basically been a
match.
part of each other for this. Well, I don't know how long, I forgot. But yeah, so I'll go with the same rating.
I got
I
super
think they both
moto.
had some pretty decent moments, but they didn't shine like everyone else, and they weren't meant to. So,
Right.
Yeah, let's. Alright. That being
anyone else
said,
want to rank Raiden Naki, or are we moving on?
I'm pretty sure I can have the same score you guys give, so I'm fine.
yeah.
Quick question for Naki's henshin form.
Japanese wolf.
Is the Buster part of the chest piece, is the little triangle bit that's now not red anymore, was that flipped upside down, or did my eyes deceive me? I couldn't tell. Because I never saw it for long enough, and I never saw them in the same.
Vulcan's Japanese wolf form, or
No, for Naki's, because it's got like the assault wolf chest piece there, doesn't it? Or am I thinking of?
You're thinking of Fuwa's.
let me look at a picture of Naki real fast.
I think you're thinking of Fuwa's.
I might be thinking of Fuwa's.
No, that's not the. That looks like a new chest piece. It's not the same as like Vulcan.
Yeah, you're thinking of Fuwa.
As
Okay,
for-
well, is that one flipped then? Between Japanese assault Japanese wolf and assault wolf.
Give me a minute to look at the forms.
Oh god, please!
Another thing, one thing I will say about 01, I kind of wish that we could have seen the Orthoros form a little bit more.
Yeah, Orpheus Wolf.
Super important. The character we're all forgetting, Assassin Chan.
Oh! Oh, the dodo! The dodo!
Best character before Jin became shit.
Yo,
Whatever
they
happened
were
to the
dope.
fifth one? Whatever
Oh,
happened
he
to the
kept
fifth
dancing.
one?
He continues to dance
He's
forever.
dancing to this day.
Yeah.
He's still dancing.
What an
Still
absolute
dancing.
legend.
What a Chad. Still dancing to
To
this
answer your
day.
question, no, it doesn't look like it. It looks like it's the same for both forms.
Oh, okay, it's not. Okay, I thought like it was flipped and just painted differently. Never mind. Because I was
In
like, oh,
fact-
that's kind of cool. How did they even do that? If it's the
In
same,
fact,
it's the same.
If you wait long enough, every time the sun set down, you might hear a certain sound like that robot that you saw.
Assassin Chan is still dancing to this day.
We never see him
Really?
again.
Oh my
right.
gosh, I
Out there
forget about
somewhere.
it, but he was like, he got me through some of the dodgy episodes there because I'm like, how long is this Dodo arc gonna last? I'm like, you know what, Assassin Chan is too good. It's fine.
Maybe when you have a mood to watch some samurai movie, you might hear a sound out your window.
When you play Ghost of Tsushima, you're gonna hear the sound of Assassin Chan. Oh. Alright,
Alright.
moving on to suits. Let's talk
Alright.
suits.
I
Suits.
hate the suit. I'm just kidding.
Wait, what?
I'm just joking. I'm
Zero
not saying I
One
hate
had
them, but
some of the
I'm gonna be
best
honest.
writer suits in a long time.
I
By
mean, okay.
far,
They
I
had
mean,
some of the best
I
writers.
really
Like, if
liked
you
all the
looked
suits.
at Blaze, have you looked at Zio's suits?
Hey,
Hey,
the
Geo
base
2
suit
is
is cool.
legit, okay?
The Geo
You
2
can't
is
keep
cool.
the
And I like Grand
Geo 2
Geo,
was
okay?
good.
I like Grand Geo.
Grand Geo was in. Geo
I like
Trinity
Grand-
was
One suit
Oh
in
my
the
Geo is
entire
I
series.
like Grand Geo, okay?
All the suits.
honestly
in
don't
for
understand
basically
why.
everybody.
Oh my
Because
Geo
I
is
get it.
indisputable.
Because I get it.
But yeah,
But that
Okay.
being said, 01 definitely has some of the best suits. in-rider by far. It's like it's been a long time since we had some
Really solid.
solid suits all the way through.
Personal shout out to Arcs. I really like the hose, the piping that he has on him. How broken it is.
Yes, that
A
was
man
really
of taste.
Can
I
we?
love the arcs, the basic arcs.
really
series.
enjoyed.
Listen.
Also,
Okay,
side note,
I need to
Corrupted-
shout out the most underused suit, Shining Hopper.
Shining Hopper.
Why? That I would have gladly taken Shining Hopper over Shining Assault. Like Assault didn't need to go to Hopper. It didn't.
Oh.
Shining Assault Hopper, I hated it with a passion since they showed it.
Wait,
Make that
you
suit
hate
ugly.
Shining?
Assault Hopper, I
We
found
talked
it
about this
ugly.
before.
What are you talking about? Yeah.
I don't
Shining-
like Shining Assault Hopper. I like Shining Hopper.
Assault Hopper, the upgrade of a
Yeah,
normal
I don't like
Yeah.
Shining. I don't like the Assault version.
The one where it got the blue chest
Yes,
cord?
I don't like
I
that.
like that one.
I like that
Yeah.
one too. I
I
like
think they
both.
both look
I have no
fine.
complaint.
Honestly, I think
I
they both
think
look
I think they both look pretty good in my opinion. I don't have no problem with them.
But
And what I like mostly,
I don't like because they just Shining Hopper had one of the best taglines throughout the whole show, and they used it for like 2 or 3 episodes.
It's also
Just
such
replace
a
the-
clean design.
It's such a good
It's so
suit.
clean.
Yeah, and it's boring
then
as sin.
And then they threw the assault core on it. I'm just like, why? I don't
I
like that
don't
suit.
want the designs to be super noisy. That's what I liked about most of Zero One's designs, is they
They
weren't
should have gave assault to
aggressively
Valkyrie.
noisy.
That is
And
my
plus, I-
meanest nitpick
Man,
when
what
it
do you
comes to
think of
suit.
Metal
and
then?
plus I like the whole
Metal's
siren.
fine. Metal's fine.
And plus, in my opinion, I
right.
like the whole siren thing. Warning, this is not a test. I
Yeah,
actually
but
like
it should
that.
have. I still feel like it should have went to Valkyrie because a Shining Hopper was fine the way it was.
It also
Then
makes
why
sense
would
that
you
it would
give
go
him
to
an
Valkyrie
upgrade like that?
because she's got a chip in her head.
And she's got a shot
Naruto does not
riser.
have a chip in her
You
head.
go, they gave him an upgrade. They gave him
I
an
still
upgrade
don't
and then
know.
said, "You know what? Your upgrade
They
is
say he's a
obsolete."
I mean, it's not like they couldn't
He's a
get-
real perfect.
They
That's
gave
what
him
I
an
was
upgrade
hoping.
and then gave him an upgrade to his upgrade.
Yeah, it's like,
Because-
what's the point of giving him an upgrade?
Now that's a
then?
theory.
You see, the thing that makes that difficult for me is it's like, how would he even operate as a result in like a Climax Fighters game? Because like his forms are fair, other than like Tiger, the various sub forms of 01, they're kind of a linear progression. So those can be like Hisatsu's like triangle moves in a Climax Fighters game, but like
Shining Hopper would have
Shining
to be the
Assault.
kick.
So would he just like kind of
Shining would be definitely be the kick, like how Dead Heat is for Drive.
okay.
Yeah,
Or
but-
Token Boost for Ghost.
Yeah, but then like now that you have Shining Assault, it's like, where do we stick Shining? Because guaranteed,
So do you have
I
like
see
metal?
Shining
Metal would
mostly
be the
with-
special. Will be the special one. It's like an upgrade. It'd be like
Yeah, he'll
Tajidora.
have. Yeah. So
I can
alternatively,
see Shining
I
for like
thought,
a distance type attack. If you
Assault?
get where I'm coming from with that, because Shining Assault, Shining Assault, I could see more of like a distance move for like the damn
Yeah,
blue
he has the-
crystal
he
shooting
has the
laser,
gun, that's
laser
true.
beam.
But then
or
it's
the
like,
gun,
what's the
or the
point of
gun.
having
I
his like
did,
subsequent
like-
sub armors then?
the one thing I really liked about Shining Assault was that it got fin funnels. I'm a sucker for funnels. I like funnels a lot. I think they're cool.
I'm sorry, I
he
didn't
got
pick my
remote.
gun, though.
He got remote weapon bits, and that's cool. They
Yeah.
I
get
also
woefully
like the drones.
underutilized. Thouser uses them more than he does ultimately,
That is
which
true.
is a shame. The debut they have is really cool, but like it takes like what 2 episodes for that to happen, for the bits to show up. That's not episode
I was so
1 of its
upset
introduction.
with Shining,
But
bro. Like, why you do
What
that?
I thought they could do for a Climax Fighters style game is they make it so that it is a linear progression, and as the fight goes along, he gets like automatic form upgrades.
Oh, that'd be
For him, yeah, I
Or
guess.
for like as he loses health, I guess.
maybe
But,
maybe like his skill builds up and then you activate it and you go to the next
Oh
level.
yeah, and
Yeah,
you
at least-
go up a level,
yeah.
so to speak. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
All right.
guess.
I mean, that'd be cool. All right. So, favorite suits. Just to close it out.
Shining.
Favorite suits
Shining.
Okay.
for everybody.
Shining Hopper.
Now,
Rampage is nice too. Rampage is nice.
Rampage
They
is
did a
good.
good job.
Favorite phone?
I do like 02.
Favorite suit from the entire show. Favorite suit from
Oh,
the entire show.
Shining Hopper.
shit.
I want.
Shining Hopper.
Okay. Now I love
Okay.
02, but before 02 became a thing, Metal Cluster was definitely up there. For
I
me.
need to say this now for people who don't understand. what a final form is. 02 is his final form.
It
Please.
is. Even though he got a form
Even though he's
afterwards.
got forms
People
afterwards.
still don't. People still don't understand that.
Yes.
People still don't understand that the final
I
form.
would say my
Because
okay.
people still think Geo Oma is Geo's final form when it's not. People still think people still think Dajidori is the oldest final form when it's not.
How can people get this so mixed up?
I have no idea.
It's because it's like it was used in the final fight and it has good emotion with that final fight. But it's like it's not the form.
It's not a form. It's not a form.
Oh my god, friggin' last
Oma Geo is not a final form?
Jeez, by golly.
No, like, okay, Oma Geo, no, stop it, please. You're killing my work. Stop it.
Geo Oma form is a movie.
What is
form.
Oma Geo?
Oma Geo is another entity entirely. Oma Geo is another entity entirely.
Right.
That's why he became.
But he is Sogo.
Yeah, but he became Grand Geo. He became Grand Geo from getting all the right watches. He didn't go straight to Oma. Something triggered him to become Oma when he got all the right watches.
The loss of the loss
At
of
least at the
Gate
very end. We don't know what the initial.
Yeah, we don't. That's when I said just
Okay.
But back to 01. My favorite suit, Shining Copper.
Okay, that's Echo.
Yeah, for me, before 02, because like I said, I love 02, you guys know this, but before that was the thing, it was Metal Cluster. Metal Cluster was definitely my favorite. I loved it. The whole silver design of it, and then the little highlighter green stuff. I messed with it. I really messed with it a lot. I thought it looked pretty damn sweet.
If I could pick a second favorite, it would be Burning Saucer.
Damage to me.
For me, I'm going to go.
Oh shit!
I think I'm gonna go Rampage. I'm gonna go Rampage.
Right.
Yeah,
Rampage is definitely one.
Yeah, Rampage is very good.
Okay, so this might be just me, but Rampage reminded me of basically like the design lines. It kind of reminded me of some stuff that we've seen. That's what Rampage reminded me of. It looked like it could have been part of the Build franchise. This is type there.
I guess. What I really like about Rampage
on my way.
is that it has all the animals on it. Like, it has like all the animals, like the skeleton, at least a part of them on it. But it doesn't like conflict with the overall aesthetic of the suit. It works really well.
They did a good job being like, oh, this animal is going to be only this one panel without it being like an entire arm. And it's like, so it wound up being like it's still relatively loud compared to the other. So what I liked about that, I'm not a huge fan of Rampage, but what I liked is that the second string is the one who got the all your powers combined, I am Captain Planet form, and not the main character, because it was like, I'm so done with that. That's the only thing that keeps me from dismissing it outright, is that it's like, oh, that's actually on the second string, not the main. The main doesn't get that. And I'm like, sick.
You can't lie with Fluid fights with that joint. Dude is literally going on a rampage.
He puts on work.
Bodies everybody. I love it.
Oh, by the way, question.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna be so cliche, but question: if we're counting aesthetic, when it comes to 02, would also count the look he got when his red scarf floating in the wind? Because if it does, I have to go with 02 as my favorite in the show because of that fact. It like remind me of freaking Nego. God freaking damn it!
That's the entire point.
Yeah, but I mean when the light actually flare for that thing and it's actually what I mean, like the energy ring actually show.
I know what you're talking about.
The only thing that keeps that form from being perfect is that it's not on the Vice President.
Now I want to say, one of the things that makes me favorite 02's design a lot, especially as a final form.
Yo, what is up with these little kids, man? This is not Tekken. This is not Tekken. What are you doing?
I was gonna say
what's going on the stream.
Okay,
Silver,
now a reason why 02 is also like one of my favorites, like besides with the cluster, because I just like how sleek the design is. It ain't too bulky. They didn't just throw a whole bunch of pieces together like how they did with most other forms.
It is a very sleek design.
It was
like
a nice,
Rock
sleek design, and it was really something that I can.
No,
I'm a
you ain't
fan
gonna
of
turn
sleek,
into king,
of sleek
bro.
design forms and suits. That's something I've always favored. Like, that's something I've always favored in Power Rangers, Kamen or whatever. When they give us the sleek looking stuff. So
Oh my
Zero
God,
Two was something that
Clank.
I really thought was very sleek looking.
I love
And it
that
really made me
move.
favorite it. I started to favor it a little bit more than the clusters. Like I really started to, you know, some of the cluster, and I'm like, how's it going to give a final form after this? So I said,
I put in
like
so
this.
much work.
Alright, so Echo gives a Shining. Silver goes with Metal Cluster / 02. I'm taking Rampage. What else?
I go with 02 if the scarf keep floating. Yeah.
Alright, 02. Frag, Clank.
You
Two-way
have to keep that
tie.
effect on.
Two-way
You have to
tie.
keep that effect
Three-way
on for me.
tie.
Okay.
Three-way tie.
Between Shining Hopper, 02, and the ice form, the ice bear form for 01.
Oh,
got
you
two
with
in.
battery on.
Because it has the
As a side
nice,
note,
it
I
has the
personally
clear,
really liked,
the
Clear
clear
visor?
plastic part.
Okay.
I like that.
because I
I
didn't get
also-
another chance to mention it, I really like the tiger form actually. That was my favorite of his
It is
form.
actually a classy form.
I like
Tiger
the
is good.
tiger form. I love the blue eyes, how the blue eyes like contrast with the rest.
I
Yeah,
did like.
cluster would have been
Can I give
fine.
another shout out to Lightning Hornet because that was just that was
Lightning
yeah.
Hornet is also pretty solid.
I'm also rather partial to Thouser. I think he's fine. His
Yeah,
design, I think he
Thouser's
looks
nice.
pretty good.
Oh,
Mostly it's because of the way he's
God,
handled
what
in
is
series. But
Yo,
I'm
I'm
definitely
learning these
thinking,
combos from you. Hold up.
02 wasn't so memorable.
02 is just so good. Because it's like 01, but classed up a little.
He's got
Yeah,
a scarf.
and I was like surprised,
It's a
like, is this
little
really a
less-
final form?
Like
I'm
it
surprised at
adds
first.
it adds a little extra detail without being overbearing, and I'm very
Right.
fond.
And it's a really nice, neat design. Because if
Yeah.
you got lots of final forms, where you just give it a little bit more than what it needed. You know, in my
A
opinion.
little bit.
Oh,
a lot.
Bill
Bill
says
damn it.
hi.
Alright.
Oh my god.
Bill, oh, don't talk about friggin' genius form.
Why
Genius
even?
form.
Why
Okay.
even?
Okay,
Clank, did
Bill.
you give yours yet?
Okay, I'll give you that.
Yeah, Clank gotta get his. Clank gotta
Oh
get his.
shit!
Yeah, Clank, what's
That's
your
you, Frack!
Is that you?
Damn
What
it.
do you think,
Of course. My big blue murder machine, hell yes.
Alright, so Clank, what's your favorite suit throughout all of them?
It's obvious, Rampage.
Rampage? Hey.
You gotta
All
give
right.
him that. Rampage is great.
Rampage is great. Like, I'm trying to think of any of the forms that I outright disliked. There's
Yeah,
ones I
that's the
like
thing,
more
that's the
than
thing.
others.
Uh,
There's some I definitely like more than others.
I dislike
Um,
Jin's first form before he got Burning Falcon.
I don't have a problem with that.
It's just basic. It's not that bad.
I didn't. No, I'm not saying it's not good. I'm just saying I didn't like it compared to. Like,
Yeah,
I
I
think
didn't have a problem with that one.
in general, I
remember that
liked
form.
the Metsubo driver ones. Zetsubo
Yeah.
driver runs.
Force
Zero ones was actually good.
I
like
generally
those
like those
just
because I
because
like
they're
the
like-
Yeah,
little,
0-0. Yeah,
the
0-0
extra
was
gribble
good.
looked good.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, the 01 version of that was top notch. I was very fond.
I like
Rock
how, I like
Hopper
how
looked
those ones
exactly
look like they're
like
just kind of like
Ichigo.
slapped together. How like just random metal bits.
Yeah. I don't know how I felt about the way
And they're
that
not
like
as
they were a
clean
bunch
as-
of elastic bits and bobs that like slapped down onto their bodies that looked kind of
No.
bondage geary, and I was like,
I was hoping no one mentioned
Actually,
that.
what it
Jesus.
looked like to me,
Thanks,
what it
Frank.
looked like to me when they're henching in, it looked like that scene in Hellraiser with all the claws in the dude's flesh, and I couldn't like get that out of my head. I'm like,
Alright.
I don't know about that.
Right.
While
No.
we're mentioning Jin,
Which is
Jin's
maybe the
Burning Falcon form is also pretty solid.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
I
top
thought
notch.
that one was sick, and the henchman for that one was just as good.
So what do you think
it
about
was
Rock
amazing.
Hopper from Reiwa the First Generation?
Awesome.
That
Rocky
that
Hopper?
is literally just Ichigo. I think
it wasn't bad.
Ichigata.
It was a nice little homage to Ichigo. That's what I liked about Ichigata. It was a little homage to Ichigo.
Why
was
can't
like
that
the
be
main thing I liked about it.
2016 Ichigo?
We don't talk about
You're
that.
fucking kidding, right? Yes, he's taking the piss. Nobody wants. Oh my god, no. Just no.
Why you bringing it up?
Alright.
Please,
Damn
some
it,
jokes
please.
aren't funny.
No, I'm just being serious. I just remember again that 2016 Ichigo was a thing, and I'm like,
Please
Okay,
don't. Please don't remember that.
I'm
Because it's
just-
not
I'm
what
Why
you're
you
getting
gonna-
sad
bullied.
me? Am I the only one? Am I wrong? For saying that form doesn't give me any Ichigo vibe at all.
No, I don't.
Yeah,
It
but I
doesn't give any.
It's done.
I'm on a form I didn't really too much care for it, and this is on like this is on a foolish form, Punching Kong. I didn't too much care for it. I didn't hate
King
it.
Kong.
I wanted to like Punching Kong, and it just
Oh,
never
that's
really
great.
worked for me.
Well, I didn't
I
hate
liked the
Punching Kong,
rocket
but-
punch aspect, but it just
Yeah,
kind of
that was sweet, but it was a little bit off. It was a little bit off. Like I didn't hate it, but I wasn't all the way up for
What
it.
is with that ring?
You guys get what I'm saying. But
No,
that was
I get it. It's not, they didn't do any.
didn't even
It's
do
kind of
nothing.
what you expect. It's kind of what
Yeah,
you expect.
exactly.
shot
Done
by
has it
blades.
in one. It does what it says on the tin. It's exactly what you thought it was gonna do, and it doesn't do
They
anything
gave him
more.
the big old fisticuffs and all that stuff. It was
How
so
does he
good,
even
though.
hold the gun?
Don't
Like I could see sort of like hands coming out of the hands, and I'm like, how do
Wait,
you
what are you talking
keep
about?
it?
Punching
How does he
Kong.
keep the prop held in his hands? That's got to be like they must be
Skill.
gluing that in there.
or something.
What
right?
are you talking about?
Punching Kong.
Punching Kong, the form
Oh,
where it holds the gun.
okay, yeah. I think
Jesus
that's why we.
Christ.
No,
Blaze,
I
are
was
you
like-
like paying attention at all? If
I
not,
did.
it's okay, Blaze. It's okay, Blaze, if you're
Yeah.
not. But
And I was still going through some inner trauma. Go on.
Yeah, but
why
in
would you
terms
do
of-
that? What's the point? What
And I'm
purpose
gonna
does
say
it
this right
serve?
now. This
Because I'm an
series
idiot.
had the most freaking drivers out of all, and basically
All right.
talking about history. This series had a total of 8 drivers.
That's a lot of drivers. That's too
I
many
didn't even keep
drivers.
count. Is it really that much?
I love drivers and all.
I
That's
thought
too
it was
many drivers.
more.
Like, it was like the drivers.
I
were
thought they
sweet,
had like
but
12, to be honest.
no,
Let's do it,
No.
Clank.
no, it had a total of 8. I saw
up?
I saw a listing and I counted. They had a total of 8. They had the 01. Yeah, the 01 driver, the
You want to?
slash driver,
Come
the
on,
shot
fire
driver, the
power. I
1000
have
driver,
fire
the
power
arc
right here,
driver,
damn you. Oh shit! if I
Force
can-
riser. Oh, I already said that one. If not, Cyclone riser, and then what's the last one I am missing? I'm missing one more.
Oh my
Wait,
god.
Well, we had a
Okay,
total of 8
that's it.
drivers in this season. This
couldn't
was
do
the
nothing.
this season had the most amount of drivers in Kamen Rider history. You know, because I don't think any other series had any other or had this many amount of drivers that 01 had. Didn't hate it, but shoot,
Yeah.
they had a lot.
It's a lot of belts to buy. There's a lot of
Yeah.
belts.
What I didn't
Alright.
count the freaking Raid Riser and the damn.
Alright, let's
thing.
move on real quick.
All right, moving on to visuals, visual effects. I personally love the fact that they brought back the final fight flash card where it says the name of the final attack. I love that. I always love that when they do that.
Yeah, I don't
Great.
know why
I love
they
that-
stopped doing that. I thought it was really rad.
It was only on X8 before. X8 was the first one to do it.
Oh, I thought you meant.
And they
Oh,
brought
okay.
it back.
Never mind.
And they brought it back for this
Well,
one.
it's because it's the
But I love
same
that they
guy.
moved the flash to like the hit of the final attack rather than just the beginning of it, because it makes for a really great picture.
I'm gonna say this right now. I still want to see X8 and 01 just do a final attack with that, just cause I want to see the transitioning between both of them.
I thought it was
I-
pretty cool in Rainbow
like-
the First Generation where they did Rising Impact Time Break. I kind of like that. Whole
Yeah, that was
combination.
sweet too. Well, I mean, like in terms of like, cause you know how 01 does the whole clanking, the dun, 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 and then shows the whole attack sign, and then X8,
Right.
the whole hypercritical sparkler. That's something I want to see between both rider finishers, because I thought that would be so damn fun to watch. You know,
That would be
I would
pretty
be
good.
satisfied with that, because I enjoy X8 and I enjoy 01. So why the hell not? But I enjoy the.
Other
Alright, hold on,
visuals, the
hold on
henshin
real quick.
sequences on
Real-
this series were freaking great. I
Hold
love
on,
all
real
that.
quick,
point.
Clank, before you go. What's your score in total for 01? Let me get your last thoughts since you're about to leave.
Yeah.
Like the entire series?
Yeah,
I would
just-
say maybe a 7.5?
Okay.
So, do you think it's a good start for the Railway Arrow Kamen Rider?
For most parts, yes.
Okay.
Cool. All right.
Alright. Well, thanks again, Clank. We'll catch you
Thanks for
next
doing,
episode,
Clank.
buddy.
Thanks, man. It's been fun.
And that's all of you.
Yeah.
Night.
Have a good one.
Night.
Sleep well, Clank. Sleep well.
Alright.
All right. Back to the visuals.
Fred,
Engine
let's do
sequences
some-
also were on point.
I guess we can just join a room real quick to finish everything.
Unless
up.
we want to switch over to Kamen Rider. Since I think we've got enough.
We have more than enough right now. Like,
I just wanted to kind of like keep it all like straight in one thing because I don't know. I didn't want to interrupt it too much.
interrupt the stream.
Yeah, because we're going like we're not going to be here too
right.
much longer.
Yeah. I guess we can all join Shuffle, yeah.
Shuffle for what?
Shuffle, rank
Gundam.
shuffle for Gundam.
You guys are good.
Oh.
Alright. Anyway, I also
How's
engine
Samurai Jack
sequences,
doing?
We'll talk
favorite
about that
henshin
later, bro.
probably goes to Jin's Burning Falcon. Personal favorite henshin.
My personal favorite. I want to go with Rampage. I really do, but it's just Shining Hopper, man.
Also,
When
just
I
the fact that
shine,
Fua
darkness
like
fades.
punches the bullets, it's great. I love the fact that he does that.
It's pretty cute, yeah. It's pretty cute. It's in keeping with his character, you know. Like after he does this, like, oh, I know where he's coming from now.
when he rips open the progress
The key.
key, it was kind of cool. The first time he did it, then he just started opening it normally. He kind of like forced it open a little bit.
Yeah, he just kind of whips it open. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, but then like once he
Well,
once
he
he gets
already broke it, so
but once he gets Rampage, he has to keep breaking it with Rampage. I'm just like, okay, like you gotta stop breaking it. Because I wonder how many of them actually broke on set because of how he has to like pretend to force it open, but he kind of like does it a little too much and it just like snaps. I want to know. I need to know the behind the scenes.
Many dozens
Did you
of
see
props
what he
were
did after
destroyed.
There's a pile of broken progress.
Oh, also shout outs to the Arc Tension. Just the the gooey mess. That you see like animals.
What even
and
is going
different
on
silhouettes.
there? I can't even
I
tell.
don't know,
It's
and
just visual
that's
noise.
the mystique of it. That's the mystique of it.
Excuse me. I mean, I get that. I get that.
It is definitely one of my
what are we doing?
One of the better henshins.
Oh, ranked
We're
shuffle.
doing
It's just
ranked
intimidating.
shuffle.
Ranked
Shuffle.
Ranked.
RANKED
I think Blaze can spell.
SHUFFLE. Ranked shuffle.
I think Blaze.
Okay, so that's
okay.
RAN.
Blaze.
God damn it, Blaze.
Blaze, come on now. I tried to defend you.
Blaze,
Don't do
I
this.
will fight you.
Yeah, Blaze. You said,
Blaze, I didn't even take off the kid gloves for these matches.
Oh, wow.
I did not go
Bandai-
gun easy once.
Okay, so Bandai is just announcing more stuff now.
oh,
Because an hour ago, they literally just announced a special set with the Realizing Progress key, a whole new Rising Hopper one,
I don't. Oh,
And
Rising
now-
Hopper.
and an Izu.
No,
Human
Realize
Progress.
Hopper. My bad. Realize Hopper.
Yeah, I said that one, Realizing Hopper.
No,
I said
I was
Realizing-
saying that to
Realizing
myself.
Hopper
I kind of
and
didn't.
Izu. All right.
I
I
messed that
so
And now they-
expected him
and
to
now,
look any different at all.
up. Exactly.
Well, Realizing it's just a recolor, crystal blue.
Right,
little-
the key. I meant the form.
The key is
I
the
did-
actual
I
form is
expect-
literally.
I mean, it's not
I
really supposed to be-
expected-
Literally, the form is just a little bit of an upgrade.
It's
That's
a
it. Ain't really too
miracle
much.
form.
Yeah.
There's nothing more. There's
It's
nothing much
let's
you can say
literally
on it.
just be Shining Hopper without the Shining Hopper.
Yo, why we
much.
keep doing
I do
Shauna
love that
Hopper so
henshin,
dirty?
though. I do love that henshin into it. How it like
Mostly-
slides
Oh yeah,
across.
no,
Oh, no, it's fine.
that might
It
be my
mostly has
favorite
to-
henshin sequence in the series because
I'm
the
also-
animal doesn't take center stage and be obnoxious and CGI happy, and it just kind of glides over his face, and then he's in the form. I'm like, yes, just like that, nanomachines, son.
Yeah, no, so.
Yeah, but one of my
Favorite
favorite
tagline, by the way.
Oh
I'm
well,
sorry, I'm sorry
Shining
to cut you
Hopper,
off.
hands down.
Look, I like a jump to the
Like-
sky turns to a rider kick, and
Yeah, that was
a tie
yeah.
between that and when I shine darkness phase. How you gonna give something the best tagline and not use it? Come on, man.
I mean,
Zero Two's like that was something I didn't like. Is Zero Two's tagline thing just went on forever, and it's like this is audibly incoherent.
To sum it up, it's never over. Okay.
But the tagline mostly for him is just "It's never over." Like I get it throughout the whole transformation. I know it's just the transformation jingle. You know, 1, 2. Yeah, I get you on that one.
I'm glad that they're not like 5-minute long songs anymore.
Right.
But I'm still like, some of them are just kind of painful to listen to. And I'm like, you don't have to do that again.
Yeah, I feel that.
Bullet.
Yeah, but
I personally liked all of the bass ones, including like Shining, all those. I love Flaming Tiger is my personal favorite again. Flaming Tiger.
Yeah,
that's great. I love that one.
I like Valkyrie Sagmon. That was really good too.
For me, I like Shining.
Also, I love going back to Burning Falcon, the Slash Risers jingle and all that.
Bro, I like the Slash Risers.
Burning Falcon.
Yeah,
the strongest wings bearing the fires of hell. There we go.
I like that one. I like that one.
Which is why I'm gonna have to give Burning Falcon my favorite combo between both. Like visual, suit-wise, and sound effects and all that. Burning Falcon wins for me personally, just overall.
Okay.
Oh, no. There are other suits I like more, and there are other like taglines I like more, but combination together, that's my favorite.
Okay. I'm gonna say because I have lots of favorite taglines in this series. You know, some I like more than others. You know, Shining Hopper definitely be one of them. I like that, and I definitely like a Soul Harvester. I just like the whole. I like the whole. Yeah, that's my favorite part of the whole transformation. Just warning. This is not a test.
This is not a test.
Like that is so that's badass to me. You know that like. I just love that. I love that. And then there's styles.
And I like that they brought that back for Orpheus Wolf as well.
I'm not gonna lie. I kind of like Bowser's little jingle move entry thing too. I kind of like when the five horns
cross the golden soldier thousand. I like that.
I kind of like
that. By
Zaya. You
got
that
every single time.
Yo, he has a trademark on everything, bro.
I like had a smile every time.
But it makes it feel like if I bought the replica driver,
Echo, is that you?
It's gonna feel like such.
I'm kill you now.
It's gonna wow. It's gonna feel like such a Zaya item that just came to life. Like this presented by Zaya.
You can buy his boxers and they're
but I like
those are available.
Yes, those are available.
Good.
Bandai Y. Like when they tried to sell his Banjo's dirty shirt from Bill, I was like, yo, come on, bro.
Oh my god, I'm in a match with a Master Gundam who is just refusing to do anything other than go all in. This man is
but I have a lot of taglines in this that I favorite, so I can't really say there's one I favor mostly over everything else. I can't say there's one I favor overall.
Yeah, no, all the sounds, the sound effects team was on point.
You know,
the makeup team was on point with the human gears. Boy, when they look destroyed, okay, yeah. Good job. Shout out to them.
So this is respectable.
Yeah, no, visuals and sound wise, the series works. Everything works.
Right, and that's what makes me hype about. And that's what makes me hype about 01 being in Memory of Heroes, and mostly just to see his attacks. When I saw the gameplay, because y'all should have seen my damn reaction. I was just, oh shit. Like, cause I thought the gameplay of 01 looked pretty damn nice, and I wanted to see how the visuals of his forms were going to look in this. I'm satisfied. I'm satisfied with it so far.
I think honestly he might look better in a video game than he did in his series, because the CGI they went a little too ham. And
bro, there was one time he henshined and then he jumped down the stairs, and I'm like, is he CG? I went back and I'm like, he's CG. Why? What's the point of that?
It's just a jump. But also, like with Metal Hopper, it became really obvious with some of the sword slashes where it's like, okay, you guys need to learn how to. You're trying to do cool stuff with rotating the camera, but your CGI is nowhere near being able to keep up with it. It was always painfully obvious. And it's like, oh, here's this, and it's like they need I don't think there's any other way you could have done that. X8 got around it by not having giant CGI'd polygon objects, just like the highlight glowy bits, which worked really well for it. This sort of goes that next level and doesn't quite make it there. It kind of worked against it rather than with it, which I felt was a bit of a... It was too bad, because otherwise a lot of the fight scenes are pretty decent.
Yeah, the fight scenes were great.
Like, some of them... I think there's more ones than there are really good ones, but the really good ones stand out.
I was disappointed in with 01. I was never disappointed
in
the fight.
I wasn't entertained by all the fights, but there were some fights that shined a lot better than others.
The ones that were good were unbelievable. The ones that were were like, okay, that was a decent fight. You could have done worse.
Okay, right.
I can agree with that.
I'll agree with that. I'll take it.
All right,
like,
so
a lot of them were fairly de rigueur because it's like, oh, they're gonna punch him again, and now it's a finisher because why not?
The fights in 01 were a lot better than recent Rider series.
Oh yeah, and another thing, guys, here's another little minor update. They're going to be releasing a 01 CD soundtrack in October 5th. So we're guys going to get...
About time we get a soundtrack. Speaking of that, music!
Yes. I
love the music! The music is great.
I love the soundtrack of 01.
There's like... half the themes are absolute bangers, and the other half are kind of like, oh, okay, that's there.
Most of all, the Ames theme most of all, because that one song... You know, like when Vulcan went to Rampage, that song right there, I love instantly. When every time that song kicks in, badassness just happens. When they're about to transform, when they're about to fight, it just happens.
When we talking music,
I love Brand New Life. Brand New Life is great.
When we talk music,
you hear that song without the lyrics beforehand, and then you hear the lyrics for the first time during the Shining Hopper fight. And it's just like, whoa, what the heck? This song has lyrics in it?
I have beat the girl one for underusing Shining Hopper.
And Make Up Your Mind is definitely... That grew on me instantly.
Oh, like, alright, so...
I was iffy on it, but I liked it.
Since we're talking music, we gotta talk about the opening theme. We got to.
Of course. The theme's a banger. I love it.
Banger. Hella banger.
It is a banger for sure.
You gotta realize it's burning like fire.
It felt like we were almost becoming a real Heisei series again, and then I remembered, this is post-Heisei.
It's not Surprise Drive, but I will listen to
what
it.
I love about what I love about the
it's fair.
And what I love about the opening more is the two singers that's in it. Mostly one of them. Because one of the singers is from TM Revolution, and I love TM Revolution.
Okay.
If you guys are familiar with them. If you're not, I recommend their music. I recommend it. Because TM Revolution, they worked on singing a song. Yes. Like, I'm trying to think of some songs that you guys might know from certain animes or shows. Actually, they did the Gundam Seed song.
Yeah, they've done. Yes. God, they've done a lot.
Yes, but I love TN Revolution's music. Their music is really awesome. And like, I first found out about them.
So what do we give the OST?
Endings.
So what do we give the OST for 01? What do we give it?
Wait,
I give it a 9.
TM Revolution did Rurouni Kenshin's endings?
Yeah, look up the Heart of Sword ending, like
I give the soundtrack a 10 out of 10.
Okay.
Yeah,
you give the OST a 10?
I give it a 10.
I give it an 8.
There's a couple tracks in there that were kind of like didn't really do anything for me, but there aren't many. I kind of got tired of Thouser's part of Thouser's theme.
Yes. And then on top of that, they're giving us
but by and large, it was good. So I think an 8 is very fair.
Another thing about the CD that they're releasing, they also added in a few more music in here that I don't remember being displayed in the show. So I think that's a bonus too.
How many discs is it? Is it just the one?
Let me pull it back up. I have a video. I can
or how many tracks rather? Sorry, not discs, tracks.
Yeah, I'll put a link in it so you guys can see.
Yeah, because I'd be interested.
I literally just saw it like the same day.
I liked it enough that I would probably be willing to maybe.
And what's great about this
As
video?
a side note, music for the last for the last arc was on point the entire time.
I'm not even that fond of the arc theme, and it was still good.
Blaze, what do you think about the soundtrack for 01?
It's
just
well
from the finale. Just from the finale, the heroic orchestral version of Brand New Life. That was awesome.
Yeah. Once I realized that it was Brand New Life, I was like, I see what you're doing there.
That was cool because we usually see the opening song remixed a lot.
Yeah.
So it's nice to see like an insert get remixed in that way.
It's nice to have an insert.
That is true.
we haven't had God, Ghost. Like, and Ghost soundtrack is actually pretty decent. Like, the BGMs are pretty nice in Ghost. But, like, there's no insert songs at all.
Yeah. Alright, so that's Ghost. That's Ghost. This is 0-1.
Yeah,
okay,
no.
so... Sorry. I'm so sorry, guys. I just found out a little detail that I missed about this. Okay, because this is a CD box. That's another thing I left out.
Oh,
But
okay,
not only
so
that,
there's multiple discs.
you know that... Okay, so the Human Gear earpieces, they're making headphones out of them, apparently.
That sounds
Or-
about
or
right.
they're-
Weren't they already headphones?
No, they
just
were
like-
not.
They were
No,
just
they were
Like
not.
the old model Humagear ones, there's clearly headphones turned with the
They
back
look-
there.
No, I mean when they
could've been
released them the
headphones,
first time, they
They're
weren't
clearly
headphones.
headphones. I had a pair of those headphones.
No, I mean when they
I
first released it.
I
When they
had a
first
pair
released it,
of those
It
headphones.
was literally nothing but a role play, but a role
Yeah.
play.
When they were the first, they already released the headphones as an item, Fred. Those aren't actually; those don't actually function as headphones.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
But basically, this is the CD box they're releasing. It's gonna include 4 CDs, the Human Gear module wireless headphones on top of that, and then it's gonna include
Alright.
the TV original soundtrack, a 0-1 theme song and insert songs, best song collection,
Dang it, Fred.
the Ray-Ra, the first generation original soundtrack, and then there's the
Oh,
headphones,
you're doing way better than your partner, by the way.
and then
Alright.
there's the whole headphones input and all that stuff.
I didn't even know you were here. I'm sorry,
I'm gonna actually. I might buy this thing. I'm
I'm interested.
How
I'm not
much?
sure
How
if
much
I'll
are they
pick it up.
charging? Did you
gonna-
say? I missed it.
I
We
didn't
kind
say.
just link that in the Discord, so
Okay,
let's
yes.
move on real quick because we kind of
Yeah.
derailed
All
a
right.
little bit.
The last thing I had on the list was memorable moments. What was
Yeah, I
everyone's
was
favorite
getting to
moment
that.
of the series?
Okay, I'll let you guys go first. Just
Okay.
All
Okay,
right.
yes.
Favorite moment from the entire series.
well, for me, I had two. The first one was Shining Hopper's introduction because
Shining Hopper's
it's such
intro.
a good
Alright.
form. The fight,
cool.
the fight with Jin and Thouser because they were fighting while the building was on fire. That was
Yeah, that was cash.
that was
Yeah.
nice.
That was a pretty good. That was a good
And then
fight.
Vulcan beating the crap out of everything in
Yo.
Rampage Vulcan. It's just God. Also,
The Rampage Vulcan Yaiba fight was just unbelievable.
he
It was
beat
too
Thouser.
short, if anything,
He
but it
beat
was so
Thouser,
good.
and then he just straight he lariat. He did the lariat and chucked
The
her.
lariat was so
The
good.
lariat is what did it. And then Yua just beating the crap out of Thouser. Finally, it was well deserved. Also,
I like that they did the not title card, but the little the bang 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 with that kind of
this is my
characters.
resignation.
Yeah.
I
Ugh.
loved that. That was great.
That was great. That's definitely a candidate for one of my top moments.
Also,
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
gotta
it's up
say,
there.
as much as I didn't like seeing Easy die, that was a big moment for Naruto. Too bad
They
it was
put-
very late.
that was a very well done moment.
It was
Yeah.
too bad it was done late, but it was a decent moment.
So-
that whole final, it was dope.
Yeah, so that does kind of lead me to another one of the little niggling problems that 01 has. You have these human gears, they're human service bots, and if they take enough damage, any substantial damage it seems,
They gonna blow
cosmetic
up.
or otherwise, they explode, and it's not a tiny explosion, that's a Michael Bay gas explosion. Like,
Yeah.
that's not OSHA compliant. There's no way anybody said that's alright. There's no way some agency was like, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, let's just
That,
put that
the
in
only
there.
thing that might be sillier than that is in
Yes.
Armored Trooper Bottoms, all the mechs are powered by like super napalm. So
Super
like if there's an
napalm!
exposed flame anywhere near them, they just go up like a bunch of firecrackers. It's hilarious.
Just
Why is
kinda
the match
hopping
getting
off on
canceled?
Frag's point
I don't
there.
know, Blaze. Why do you keep canceling the match? Press X to confirm.
I pressed X to
God damn it,
confirm.
Blaze! You're ruining my moment. All right.
Yeah,
Kind of hopping off Blaze.
How's Samurai Jack,
Another
by the
thing
way?
that kind of
Blaze, do that
when you
later.
really think about it.
Okay.
Another thing that's kind of weird when you kind of think about it is when the human gears go on a rampage. Some of them like pull out rifles.
Yeah, where
they
did the
have to
guns
have those
come
built
from?
in. They have to have those like built into them. Who Why do the human gears have rifles built into them?
I don't know. It's like they exist in this weird vacuum where it's like, oh, they can do things now. I'm like, but why did they allow them to do this? Who said this was okay?
They were hacked, man.
And the price for this,
they were hacked, so they suddenly have a gun.
Yes, because in this universe,
all right, let's move on to favorite moments.
Let's listen to this.
Yeah, we were listening to favorite moments and we got sidetracked.
Yeah, we.
I definitely agree with the Rampage fight. That was a great moment. Izu's deaths are also great.
I enjoyed the build up for that one. Especially when he's like to transform. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
That was that. Wow, I can't even think of another moment right now. There's so many. Light.
So just hit up your favorite moments, and then we'll do a score for 0-1.
Okay. Maybe I guess I'd include the MC Check It Out.
MC Check It Out.
As he actually shows having any agency whatsoever. He's like, nah. Somebody casually pushes the driver his way, and he's like, you know what? Yeah, let's do this. Let's go.
I've been waiting for this. Give me this.
He's like, let's fucking go.
I just enjoyed that episode because I thought of how fun it was. Oh yeah, and another thing, they added that song into the CD mix too.
Oh really? Sick.
Yes. Humagia.
So you know what I found kind of upsetting when they do a callback to that episode, and they're showing scenes from it, and like it's like got the most ominous music while he's doing the rap. I'm just like, what is this? What am I supposed to? It's like the black guy shows up and they're like, dun 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 dun, and I'm like, what's going on?
I still bang if you check it out, even if no one else would.
I enjoyed that, especially how easy it was in that episode. She was throwing the whole rap quote, and she explained the joke and just did a pose with empty checker like boom. And I'm like, that's just adorable.
Blaze, are you getting bopped?
Blaze is throwing the game.
I'm going to quickly throw in Raiden's when we first get introduced to Raiden and Raiden's whole. Oh, it turns out he was the traitor the whole time.
Yes.
Like he was kind of like forced to do it. I don't know. There's something about that moment that just kind of
a fun moment for me was when Bowser teamed up with 0-1 and he did a henshin and the dog was just getting all excited.
It's high quality and it zooms in on the dog.
Bowser?
And I enjoyed the
that was straight up going, hey, buy this dog that Sony made. It's high quality.
Wait, Blaze, how do you have a higher score than I did? I carried that on my back. I spent that entire match.
I killed them. I saved your ass once, and I killed it the second time.
No, Blaze, that's called kill stealing.
You were getting your ass thrown around by that guy with a twin sword. I come in, shoot him from behind for you.
I had
all right, guys, we gotta do final. We gotta do final scores.
Okay,
we gotta move on.
And I'm gonna say
you're welcome, Frack.
After our final scores.
No, you're welcome, Blaze.
Alright.
Okay.
Alright, so done. Give me your final score. Give me your final score for
me. Okay.
Yeah, I'll start with you.
I'm gonna give it a whole series an 8. 8 out of 10.
You know what? That's actually fair. That's fair.
I won't argue it. It's not perfect, but it does enough well that I'm willing to give it a pass.
No, it doesn't.
Like it's far from the worst series in the world. I think the pacing really hurts it, and not all of it can be blamed. I wish I could blame all the pacing on Corona, but I can't because a bunch of it starts early.
Yeah, they were clearly going down this path.
Yeah,
and maybe they were really going to actually do 45 episodes. Maybe they actually were. We don't know.
Yeah, but I give it an 8. I really enjoyed the series front to back.
That's fair.
I will fully admit there are a few nitpicks here and there, some issues, but I can overlook those and still have a lot of fun with the series.
You know what? That's how I feel about Geo. So I think that's fair. And Geo has a lot of problems, but I had fun with it. So yes. I agree. I like
Alright,
Decade 2.0.
Ha! Yes, I know.
Sorry, I have a lot of sass. I'd give mine like between a 7 and an 8, because like it's got enough stuff in there that I'm like, oh, that was a really good moment. Paired with a bunch of stuff, like I give it a lot of flack. But for all this niggling stuff, but like considering they're all mostly kind of surface petty
I got both
complaints.
kills. You last plays on the talk trash.
It's kind of like that's sort of telling that most of them are sort of superficial complaints.
Okay. Yep.
Like at its core, the series is basically good. It's a little more humdrum maybe than I would like. I think it could have really pushed the envelope and decided not to, or didn't. But it's otherwise not a bad show. I just lost the match for my entire team.
I feel like it's a definite good start to the Reiwa era, but it could do better. So I really hope they do better. I want them to do better.
Yeah.
All right, what's your score? Give me a score.
Oh, my score is 7.
Okay. Blaze, Silver?
I'm gonna go with 8.5. I'm gonna go with 8.5.
Blaze, what do you give the Kamen Rider 01?
And Blaze.
And Blaze.
And Blaze is
8.
done.
I give it 8.
Oh, there we go.
If it was if it not a Reiwa first generation supposed to be, I would give it 9 swing. But the fact that it have to start swing by itself, and did exactly set up to it in my opinion, so I give it an 8.
All right, cool.
Yeah, it's kind of their chance to have really done something crazy, break the mold, and they kind of really didn't at all.
They played it a little
for a Heisei for a post-decade Heisei series, it'd be really, really good. But for let's start a new generation and do something different, it's really kind of like
It's not exactly, it's not exactly Deppo or like Kuga, so that's for sure.
yeah, it ain't Kuga, and that's a shame.
Look, Kuga's great and all, but I still love 01. I think
that's
It's
fine.
great. It's great. That's what
It's
I say.
fine.
Value-wise.
Again, you can do a lot worse than 01.
Like,
We've had most of the lot worse 01s in the last 10 years, in my opinion.
like,
Overall, in my opinion of the show,
I am not a fan of the hyper merchandising from Bandai. I really am not.
they gotta cut down on that because they still
It's really upsetting because it's like
sacrificing the story for it.
Yeah,
and the story is what helps sell them toys.
Like I had some brain flash and I had words that made sense and I kind of lost it earlier today when I was supposed to be doing work. But like the way Kamen Rider in particular has gone over the last 10 years is kind of like trying to get to the state of Zen singularity and crystallization of purpose that was in Showa, where in Showa it's like you have a bunch of cyborg bugmen beating the shit out of each other in polystyrene suits.
Okay.
And it's real simple. They're fighting for justice, they blow stuff, they throw a dude off a cliff and he explodes. Whereas modern Heisei is getting to extreme clarity and singularity of purpose by being purely a vessel for merchandise and absolutely nothing else matters. So there's no real it's in the way. It's in the way and it can't really be a show anymore.
Yeah. Like I get
it's not allowed to be a show, it has to sell garbage. And I'm just like, ugh. It has to sell Happy Meals toys, and I'm like, come on.
Well, how do they ever gonna get something to,
The thing is, sometimes a good story will make you go buy the merchandise because you want to support it.
A director will grow a pair of testicles and say, the buck stops here, you don't own me or my creative vision. We're going to get an Inoue again, eventually.
They try that, and you got Amazon, and,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that was still largely Bandai being like, yo, let's show Bandai stuff, because there's way too much toys in there.
Yeah. But overall,
Amazon sucked though, because that director has clearly
as much as I love the series, I'm not trying to get everything that everyone offered, but it turns out so much that they're releasing is like I kind of do want to get most of the attachments. I want to get some of the attachments. What they did for 02 with the driver, I want to get those. I find those shit interesting.
I don't know.
But since the fact that they're premium, I might have to get a pack.
But just kind of as a
so they did a whole premium that Metsubo Gen Riser for the 01 driver. I wanted that little template or faceplate for it. I want to go for that. But so far I enjoy the 01 merch. I enjoyed this one more than my Geo merch. And because I got the Geo, because I have the ZQ driver and ride watches, but the stuff from 01 I just ended up enjoying a lot more.
Alright, so here's
I also really enjoy it.
here's gonna be my final thoughts before we close everything off.
Okay.
It's getting late. One thing I will say, I'm glad you guys actually did have fun watching Zero One. It's unfortunate that I personally didn't have that much fun watching the show compared to like previous seasons before, where it's just like I get what they're doing, it's fun, I'm enjoying myself, but like I couldn't do that with Zero One. But I'm glad you guys were able to have fun, because if you can't have fun with the show, then there's no point. There's really no point. So as long as they keep trying to have fun with what comes next, I'm excited for what Ray was going to bring. So just keep trying to have fun. That's all.
Yeah. So, pick 3 things that you anticipate positively about Saber. I guess
Saber. Okay. Yeah. Fights.
Self-aware.
Fights, music, and one thing. Hopefully,
I never say the fights because
if 01 can give me, 01's been good with fights. Music.
Fights, and I'm really hoping we get some good sword fights. They've shown good sword fights before.
Music.
Yeah, because some of the sword fights, other than the final fight in 01, a lot of the sword fights felt kind of.
It wasn't a sword fighting series, though.
Yeah, I know,
but
there was a lot of sword use, and it all felt kind of phoned in. I guess it didn't. It felt like whoever was doing the action directing is the same guy who's done it, and who is in Sakamoto forever. And I'm like, oh, okay. Incidentally, what the hell is a strash? Other than trash with an S in front.
I don't know.
I honestly have no idea what's going on there. Is that
also,
them trying
you have
to
the
make
Progress
funny
Hopper
words?
Blade. It does say Strash on it, so like
I
the actual
did not
toy
know
itself says Ultimate Strash
Like,
ability, Ultimate Strash,
Like written on it?
Yeah, no, actually written on it. STRASH.
I mean, in every in every single fan sub, they have it translated accordingly as that. So I don't know what it is, but I'm like, all right, fine. That is what they're saying.
Straight slash one word.
Other than that, it could just be trash with an S. I mean, Metal Cluster Hopper could be throwing the garbage can lid at him.
Well, it is.
It's trash.
I mean, they could turn into a garbage can. Theoretically, other little insect dudes could turn into a garbage can.
He could do that. I really wanted to see them do more with that idea, and it just never really materialized.
That was a really cool power set.
Off, but before I go, my bad.
The 3 things you want from Saber.
Oh yeah.
Silver,
like
before you go.
Do you?
Because you had yours.
Yeah.
Okay,
we already ranked it, so we ranked 0-1.
I ain't really thought too much on it, but what I want from Saber is obviously I want the feel for that. I want to have fun with it as much as I did with 01. So basically, just give us some decent storytelling, nothing too out of whatever. And like I just want to have fun with the series. That's all. Like I like the little bugs. The driver seems a little sweet. So, I don't know. Like, I don't know what I really want out of this. I just want something decent and something that we can work with, not something that's just all ugh. That's all I can say on it.
All right.
That's all. I just don't want nothing that's all BS. I want it to be something good, especially for a whole fairy tale sense story. Like, I definitely want this to be good. I want this to be fun. So all I can see is. All I can say is that let's hope and see what happens, and that it meets all of our expectations and interest. That's all I can say about it. And what I want out of it.
I agree with that wholeheartedly. All right.
Done. Your 3.
Yeah.
All right. Definitely want kick-ass sword fighting. That's visualized. I really want some good
music,
some good lore and fantasy elements behind it.
Okay, I'm gonna leave it. Come back real quick.
I really want some good lore fantasy bits behind it, not just. I don't want it to turn into nanomachines again, son. All right.
Yeah,
that's
I'm
the
pretty
main
much
thing I don't want.
I want very much for it to really work with its theme.
I want it to lean into the fantasy I wanted to lean
Yeah.
into the fantasy elements
Here's
that
what
it's presenting right now.
And I agree
My
with
thing is,
McDunn.
though, I've kind of given up on them ever doing that because
Mm-hmm.
0-1 again was the opportunity for them to do something really outside the box, and they kind of just were like, it's just another
They
series.
decided to play it safe.
So I'm sort of worried that they won't. And I don't know that the director for Ghost is capable, or the writer for Ghost is
We'll
capable.
just have to see.
But I would like very much for that to be the case.
And like in tandem with Dunn, I kind of do want him to play with the lore a bit because when
Yeah.
adapting Magic Ranger to Mystic Force, they gave a lot of lore.
Yeah.
It sacrificed a little bit of like story and character and whatnot, but they played with that lore. They gave you the lore, the whole
and then the
background
last
and
thing
everything.
I
So I
gotta
hope
give
they
it
do something.
is a great soundtrack. That's the last thing.
That's what I want. I want good story, good fights, and good music.
So
Make it fun.
My 3. Good story would be nice. I would like that very much. One that's actually engaging.
Okay.
But above
Makes
and beyond those, things I'm looking forward to. Vulcan gun coated ATV.
That's dope. Yo, that was clean. That was
like,
clean.
I know they're only
turns
going to
into an
use it
iPad?
twice. Which I think is
great.
really dumb, but it's
So cool.
but it's like even though they're only going to use it twice ever, maybe 3 times ever, whole series, and one of those is it going to be thrown at someone and exploding and being completely worthless. I'm still so hyped for that for no reason. I'm not an ATV guy, but having a quad 4-wheeler
Is dope.
could be pretty rad. Provided it's not CGI'd, because I don't know if these suits can actually sit on one. I don't know. And
They
I'm
showed
actually.
some footage of them riding, so
Oh, okay, very good. I missed that. I
in
want
like
to
one
see
of the
that.
trailers.
That would be
You see
nice.
both of them in action, both of them rolling around.
I clearly didn't watch that
That's
trailer.
speed of sound. So,
Yeah.
But what I'm actually really looking forward to and really hope is that we get the father dynamic from Buster. I want to see that handled well, because I think one of the things that
Okay.
keeps me thinking that Abba Ranger is extremely good as a series is the way the father dynamic was handled there.
Yeah.
I would have liked to know who the mother was, but it ultimately kind of winds up being irrelevant.
all right.
Fair enough.
But I would really like, that to be like, a focus. Is I think it will be ultimately, because we're having the whole the family. It's a descendant thing, I guess, for Saber
Probably.
himself.
Probably.
I don't
Actually,
know.
he might not actually be the son of the guy, but I fully expect that to occur. I fully expect grapefruit form. I think that's going to happen. We're going to get it.
What do you mean? Grateful? Is that what you're talking
Yeah,
about? Or?
we're gonna
Okay.
get grateful. We're gonna get grateful.
Oh,
I
an
call it
amalgamation.
grapefruit.
What's an amalgamation for?
It's no, I mean in the sense that the exact same plot development, that
Oh,
same
okay.
plot beat.
Okay.
Where thanks, Dad, give me your strength. And then
okay.
so
That's
not
more like,
grateful.
That's more
that-
token boost than grateful.
yeah,
Token
Tokon boost. I meant Tokon boost, not grateful. I'm dumb.
Okay.
You can tell how awake I was every time I watched Ghost. But
right.
yeah,
I
I'm fully expecting Tokon boost to be done basically plot beat for plot beat.
Okay.
But I'm really
We'll
hoping that Buster's father dynamic is handled at least reasonably intelligently. I would be very happy.
Fair enough.
Also, I'm hoping we get another female writer early on in the series.
Please.
I would love that.
I'm like, we need more of that. It felt to me like Yaiba was very much a positive step in the right direction. For getting
yep,
us
I agree with that.
the holy grail, which is female lead.
That's my
I don't.
Female.
That's a holy grail.
That is the road to El Dorado, man. We're on it. We're gonna get there. We're gonna
boy.
get the female lead writer someday
Speaking of Holy Grail,
in
that better be a
2035.
2035.
2035 is the year of the
Maybe
female
save the
lead.
final form of Holy Grail. I need that.
Maybe.
Okay,
I wouldn't be
well,
surprised.
Very couple of play work.
Alright,
Anyone else? Any
Okay,
expectations for Saber?
I think we all
First
know.
episode premieres next week.
Jesus
Yo, like Charlie
Christ, you're
Angels?
right.
Yo, Kazan, I'm
Wait,
with it.
wait, the
Kamen
first
Rider
episode
Charlie's
premieres next
Angels,
week?
bruh.
Yeah,
Next
it's real great.
next this coming week.
Wow,
yeah, they're
that
just
is-
going straight over. Yeah.
Just straight over. Okay, I'm sorry. Like,
Yeah, it's gonna be an
I'm
official
thinking it's gonna
handoff, and
be
they're going straight
soon,
over.
but- Wow. Okay.
So-
Shit,
so,
I was not
um,
ready. But fuck
Kamen
it.
Rider
Let's-
tape
I'm not
stops
ready at
for
all.
no one.
So,
All right, let's
let's-
do
Well,
this.
except for
Start.
when they did briefly for COVID, but
Okay, well,
there's good
The
reasons
Kamen
for
Rider
that.
train stops
There's-
only
there's
for
lots
global
of good
pandemics.
Yes,
So-
which is
so anyway-
also occasionally Christmas break.
So
occasionally.
anyway, thanks again for tuning in to Riders of the
Yeah.
Grid. This is our this is our 01 retrospective
Zero
review.
on
I'm gonna
retrospective.
say
We're gonna
I'm-
catch
I'm-
you guys in the next
excuse
one.
me, Echo.
Wait, what's up?
Oh.
my bad.
Okay, I'm sorry. Because before we have a little send off or head out, just something I want to say that first of all, I'm really happy to be part of this community that you guys have started. I'm really happy that you guys were able to have me in this. I
We're
really
happy
enjoy
you're
it. And it's been a long journey with 01 and and everything else. And I'm happy to have met you guys, especially be able to talk to you guys as much with this. So in great honor 01, let's always take that step from zero and create a new path. And as we make towards the new era for other riders. So together
Here,
as
here.
a Toku Nation, let's all rise.
And that's a show by
A toast.
Aruto.
You're here.
God damn. Fuck you, Aruto. You and your stupid
I wasn't even
shit.
thinking that part, but
Well,
okay.
that's a show by Aruto. Alright, like I said, thanks for tuning in, episode 26. We'll catch you next episode, which is next Sunday, hopefully.
For the premiere of Kamen Rider Saber.
Kamen Rider Saber and more
Saber.
Cure Major Greatness. So, till next time, guys. Stick around.
Adios.
We're gonna do a quick read. Who wants to watch some Garo? Yeah, it's happening. All right, I'll see you guys next week.
Which Garo?
We'll see when it happens.
Dude, just
See
do
what
OG
they-
season.
Versus Road over
Do
already?
first season, dude. Just watch first season.
Oh yeah,
Well, it depends on
please.
what Tokusatsu
So,
TV.
Yeah.
so good.
It's
Uh, Okay,
never
all right.
mind.
So
you
here
don't
it
need
is.
a membership of that.
Season 1 is so
See
good.
y'all later.
Season
It's
2 is
really
pretty good too.
It's good. It's good.